is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
How's it going, everyone? It's Rain. Happy Friday. I've been a little anxious about this particular stream because I'm gonna talk about some stuff that's real heavy, maybe a little controversial. I'm not gonna talk about certain things that has to do with it, but it is freaking heavy. It's something I stumbled onto. Jungle Link says happy Friday. I agree. Happy Friday, everyone. Lou Dog says happy Friday too. What's up, Lou Dog? He's not in the picture, but he's here. What is up, GXRP? Dude, haven't seen you in a while. I think I saw you the other night. I think you were with Chip, I think, in Chip's stream. Where we go one, we go all. That's right. Braveheart, Matt LaRoche, XRP Connie, Dansky, Danny Torres, Ferdy. What is up? XRP Minute. How's everyone doing? Glad to see you guys all tonight. So I don't know how many people we got in here, whether we should get right into it or not. What is up, XRP Minute? How you doing, brother? I got my Lou Dog here. He's guarding the news set. Hopefully he doesn't get too crazy. Oh, what's up, Chucky Loco? What's up, Rain? Bring it on, brother. All right, so all right. I don't know how to really start it out, but yeah, where's Hodel at? All right, so I'm going to start out with something I put together here. I went old school, wrote some stuff down. So this is what we're going to be talking about tonight. Old guard being taken down. That's one of the, I should say, the big player in this whole conversation here. We got global reset, baby. It's going to be huge. And if you haven't heard, yes, that's where we're at. That's where we're headed. We're headed to this side right here. All right? Where things are going to start to get better. The whole world's going to change. Tinfoil hat on. Go. Braveheart. High-tech Rain. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. We're going old school. We're going high-tech. Yeah, I don't know if I'll show that one. But let's see here. I did this because I was going to kind of do it like a silent thing, coming right out of the gate, all silent, just putting these up. But I don't know. I didn't know how to pull this off. But gold, silver, and crypto will take down the Fed. I really believe that. It's coming. And I'm basically putting this out there now. I've talked about a lot of this stuff before, but it's all accumulating into where I've ended up and stumbled onto something that was created decades ago, a couple decades ago, and it's pretty crazy, to be honest with you. This is something I talk about too. Oh, hold on. Sorry. We are living in the most amazing time in our history. Very high tech here with Rain. I love a shake up. Don't pull any punches. All right. But we're going deep here. This is all on the record. We're putting it out there so everyone knows that Rain was talking about this and he's serious. Cures will be released for all major diseases And one of the things that is going to do that is sonic healing. There's supposed to be sonic healing machines. I don't know if they're already created. I imagine they already are. You know, and then you have your natural healing in other ways. That's natural healing. It's basically like, I guess you could put it in the line of like chakra. All this is connected because of what I'm getting to. So just bear with me, everyone. You know, and at the end of the day, crypto, XRP, it's all in the middle of all this. It really matters. So this is one of the other big things. Sonic the Hedgehog. Right on, Ferdy. I love it. Keep it a little light, huh? We will have free electricity, slaves no more. I really believe that is coming too. Free electricity through the Tesla technology, and we're not talking Elon Musk. We're talking Nikola Tesla. This is a big one right here. I've talked about this before. All debt will be erased and a huge stimulus package released to everyone. Now, the stimulus package, I'm not too sure on. But, you know, there's a possibility that there's going to be one. But I do know that most of the debt is going to be wiped out. And I do have some proof showing that that's already starting. And it started in Canada just recently, just so you guys know. All right, and gals. For all you gals in here, which there aren't really a whole lot. All right, that's what it's called. So this is what it's called right here. And that's for the USA. And I will explain more on that. I will show you what that means. All right, so this here's for the rest of the world. Digital Nomad Investor, what's up, brother? Thanks for showing up, man. I appreciate it. This is kind of right up your alley, Nomad. You know, kind of. I'll say kind of, but you know, we're all kind of on the same page as far as where things are going. So this is for the rest of the world. All right. So the other one is for America, and this is for the rest of the world because the G stands for global. What about the Aluans? What is that? What's the Aluans? All right, so to sum everything up, this is the reset. The Great World Reset is this right here. Peru Crypto, how's it going, brother? All right. So this is also what I think right now. We are literally in the middle of it. It is happening as we speak. We are in the middle of the Great Reset. And it's going to be freaking amazing. So I'm getting the word out right now. A lot of people have been doing this. You know, I was kind of already on this. I stumbled onto this on my own and just kind of listened to everything and being in the middle of all the streams. I was talking about this last year when I first started streaming and some of the videos I was doing. I was talking about how, you know, we're going to have, you know, gold's going to come back. It's going to be backing the dollar. You know, the Fed's going to be taken down eventually. You know, but what's crazy though, so I put something together out of watching a few things. Like when I watched one of the last Fed deals with Chairman Powell. Basically, Chairman Powell said that it is possible to see in the future 3 reserve currencies. And what's crazy is that in this proposal that I'm going to present to you guys, that was actually presented back in the 90s to our government, it talks about three currencies. Basically, it'll be the federal dollar, but it'll be the reserve, or I'm sorry, the treasury dollar or whatever it'll be, and it'll be backed by gold, silver, and other commodities. I do believe that the other commodities are going to be XRP, maybe Bitcoin, and some of the other big players that are in there. It's going to be a mix. There's going to be a lot of different players involved. You might even have Stellar in there because they have a pretty good, you know, program too. So not to hate on any of the other cryptos. So I'm serious when I say this. We are headed to a gold-backed dollar with silver in there too. The prices are being suppressed. Gold is probably going to be at around $5,800. If you look at the debt clock, it actually shows it on there what the prices would be if you went back to before the Federal Reserve took over. The gold prices would be, in today's market, $5,800 an ounce. Silver would be at like 700 and something, $720. I mean, that is freaking huge. What's up, Hodel? All right, so you missed some of the stuff we've been talking about, Hodel, but this is part of it too. So this is the Fed now, and it is going to happen regardless of whether Ron Paul wants it or not. And there's also going to be real-time taxes with that. I guess there's going to be, supposedly, what I've heard with the Fed now system is there's going to be like a fee for the transacting. So, and it's going to be a global fee, and it's going to, be paid out. The other thing is we're going to have a flat tax. We're moving to a flat tax. Now, the documents I'm going to show you are from the 90s, so the numbers are going to be off. Like, it talks about erasing $1 trillion of debt from the U.S. Back then, $1 trillion was a lot of money. Now we're at, what, 22 trillion. So obviously the numbers are going to need to be changed. This will need to be updated to be enacted, and that's what I'm getting at there. I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of nervous. I've been kind of stressing out on this whole presentation. I'm sorry, everyone. So then, also in the future, obviously we all know about COIL. Micropayments are going to be huge. You got the tip bot, basic attention token. That's going to be huge. Yeah, consumption tax. Exactly. So basically the IRS, like we've been talking about, a lot of people have been talking about it. I'm one of them. Talking about the IRS is going away. They're going to be absorbed into the Treasury. Now, it's not going to all happen overnight. It's going to eventually happen over time. But it will happen. And I have talked about also in the past that, there's an alliance. And this alliance was established decades ago. And it was established to take back the power, take back sovereignty, and to destroy everything that was built to enslave us as a human race. And I'm not just talking about in the United States. I'm talking about the whole world. Taxes are a slave frickin' state kind of setup. So a lot of the taxes are going to go away. So we're going to have like a flat tax. I think in the proposal it was 14%, but that was in the 90s. I think the flat tax is now 17, which is kind of ironic because the letter Q is 17. Anyways, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But this is going to play a big role right here. And I think we all know this. The RippleNet, real-time payments. That is huge. It is going to be freaking huge in the reset. So I will go back for anyone that hasn't. I will show you a couple of these things so that you know what I'm talking about and where we're going. How's it going, Yeet? Miyagi, what's up, brother? I'm so glad you're all here. I've been stressed out on this all week trying to freaking put this together, and and I was kind of, I don't know, I was questioning whether I should even talk about it or not, but I've already been talking about it, so why not? All right, so then we got atomic swaps. We've heard about atomic swaps. Converts any token into any currency. So supposedly with the Fed now and some maybe of the other systems, I don't know if, I don't think everyone's going to be on Fed now, but we're going to be on Fed now. But the other countries will be using atomic swaps, meaning that you could use any crypto. It's not going to take away anything from XRP, just so you all know that. All right, this is another big thing. It's going to be huge. I'm not into the smart cars and a lot of the stuff that's coming, but you just got to do what you got to do and roll with it. Make it what it is. Create the world you want to live in. So digital wallets are going to be huge. You got them in your phones, computers, on your desktop. Your watches, TVs, your cars are going to have wallets. I think some of them already do now. You got your smart fridges. You'll probably be able to freaking have your fridge where it can order stuff. They're already doing that with Amazon though, where it freaking knows that. Do I got comms? Yeah, we got comms. What is up, good people? Rain here. Yeah, that's 2019. I wanted to do because I'm always talking about it, like on the shows, on other shows, on my show. I talked about it before I came back that I was going to break out some old streams. Well, at that time, I only had one stream and a couple clips of some others. And I dug more into my old computer and I actually found this one. And I think the reason why I had it is because I was afraid it was going to get taken down, this particular stream, because I was talking about Nasara Jasara, which I was afraid to talk about. And the reason being is because when you look at it and you look at the connections, it's actually why they did 911. We're not going to we're going to try not to drop any trigger words here tonight, but yeah, I think you were there, Mofo. I think you were there for this high tech. But look at that, the digital wallets, phones, computers, watches, TVs, cars, smart fridge, smart everything, machine to machine micro payments. And that was the subject of that one, was the digital wallets, basically in everything. Yeah. Yeah, it could drive you crazy. I mean, all this stuff would drive you crazy, man. Crypto drives me crazy. Driving me crazy. F.N.W.R equals Medico, Mojo Loop, Volante, Tech. All right, so if you guys noticed, I got the hold on, let me see here. I got the actual the chat working in the live stream. So I was able to delete the old original YouTube Rain Here YouTube account that was banned. I was just able to pull this off today, and I got that out of the way, and then I was able to basically connect it to what I'm running now, so it actually worked. So what's up, everybody? Wem Mullet, Shavo, XRP Free Me, Nerdy X, Miss J Kills, Edward Frankowski, Island Ghost. Who else popped in here? Legendary. What is up, buddy? Teen Hall. Lower levels and the upper level. He's in the upper level tonight. Rye Guy. What is up, good people? All right. So, yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit of that. I mean, I would love to play the whole stream. It's pretty wild. I get into some wild stuff. So we were really, all of us were really ahead of the curve back in the day. So that was about almost 5 years ago. So, yeah, you play trivia. Yeah, that's funny that you said that. Where'd that go? Oh, right here. Gotta play a trivia, like a trivia show, right? I don't know if you're talking to me, but it's funny because I am working on doing a game show. It's something that I brought up. I offered to the boys at XRP Boardroom to do something like that, but there were no bites. I'm gonna actually do it. So yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do a game show eventually. I already have basically like a template that I could use. I just got to figure out how I'm going to make it work. And I think it's using PowerPoint. So I think I need to get my other computer that I think it has PowerPoint on it. So hold on, let me get back in the groove of this. It kind of threw me off doing that show there. But I mean, hey, there's some good nuggets in there. There's some really good nuggets in there. So let's go ahead and it's a trip because I'm using the actual StreamYard chat rather than the YouTube chat. It's different, man. I want to go head to head against Mullet. Shavo Mofo. I love it, dude. Yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think we could have some fun with it. It would be a little bit of work, because you have to obviously you got to put the questions in, then you come up with the answers and all that. You got to build that. So I would have to build it. If I was to do it every week, I'd have to build it every week. So maybe every other week we'll do the game show, and it'd be cool, it'd be engaging, and we can have all kinds of different subjects. Have some fun. The knowledge in the mullet will amaze you. It amazes me. Laughing out loud when mullet. Oh my god. Shawamofo says, I'm no slouch. I'm no slouch, mullet. Oh shit. Game show here. Oh my god. All right, so did I put it in there? I thought okay. I put the StreamYard link in the chat. So if anyone wants to come in, hit it up. Y'all do Twitter Spaces on Mondays with Spectre. No, I don't do. I don't really do Twitter Spaces. Not a whole lot. I mean, I'm not on there all the time because I don't have it on my phone. So when I have something on my phone, obviously I'm going to engage more, and it's kind of not on my phone for a reason. Um, I tend to get sucked in. I'm telling you, I'm not. This is no joke. I got sucked into Twitter before it was X so hard. I was trying to help this girl on there that was complaining about some issues she had. I think she had like Lyme's disease, and it got me going, right. And the funny thing is, though, it was right before. It was probably an hour, couple hours before um, XRP boardroom. I got so sucked into it that I literally missed the stream that I was supposed to be on. That's when I was literally on the streams every Monday. It was when it was Mondays, I think. So yeah. Anyways. Oh, Tina Hall wants some too, man. Looks like Tina Hall wants some. She wants some on the game show that we're planning on doing. Oh my god. Yeah, I always get the AI stuff. The AI is always coming at me. AI Island Ghost. Alex Yeet, what is up, dude? Check that out. Alex Yeet up on the screen. Yeah, we got the chat working where we can bring it up now. I dig it. It's so cool. So much more engaging. Oh, Bagman, here. Yeah, that's what I used to do. Like when we'd open up the boardroom, I would always go here. Or at the end of it, we would go, this court's out of order, court's adjourned, or whatever. Now I would kind of get confused between a courtroom and a boardroom, so I'd be like, court adjourned, or this court's out of order. That was fun. Oh man, fun days. So yeah, for everyone that wasn't here a little bit earlier, I was showing an old stream I picked up from my computer. To this thing has so much junk. It has a lot of junk, but it has a lot of treasures too. So I found this stream. It was from 2019. I was showing that earlier, and man, there was some nuggets in their bags. Dude, we were talking about everything. So like every time I would be like, yeah, I was talking about that 2019, right? Like sounds like I'm just bragging and got nothing to back it up with. So maybe one person might remember, they still got that brain cell and they remember Rain saying something. Well, it's like, no, I got proof. And we were showing it earlier. Dude, we were talking about all kinds of stuff, man. Gold back, freaking dollar coming back, silver. We were talking about the Ripple net and gold and everything running and backing, like Ripple and all these things, all these wild things. Nasara talking about micropayments, machine to machine learning, or not learning, but payments and stuff. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah. So I hope everyone's having a good week or the end of this week. It's been rough, man, for me. Like just trying to, I don't know, just trying to deal with everything, right? Like and not let the world get to you. It's a hard one, man. It's a hard one. Ghost, what's up? Oh, we got nerdy. We got a contestant stepping up. We got a contestant. The next contestant on the Price is Wrong, bitch. The price is wrong, bitch.
What's up, brother?
What's up? What is up, good people? Nerdy X here.
How you doing,
Rest
bro?
in peace, Fed Note.
Bye.
Oh, I love it, dude. I love it. That's a good one. Yeah, so I had that on there too. I'm all the I think I said maybe we didn't get to that part, but I think I did. Where gold and silver will end the Fed.
Yeah, you're pretty on point with the taxes and all that. You're pretty on
point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I was saying. Like, a lot of times these people are bringing stuff up, right? And it sounds like it's all new and oh my God, wow, that's actually, yeah, you're right on, you're spot on. And I'm like, I was saying it, so you sound like you're kind of arrogant, but yet, no, it's true. I was saying these things, like people forget this stuff. Like,
the thing about that was like, so I went through the same ordeal where like, I used to post stuff and then delete it because like, I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? Like, oh, look at me, give me attention. I have all the information. Like, I'm not that person. I don't really care whether you take it or not. It's solely up to you. But then like, bro, yesterday I just went completely down the rabbit hole. I mean, I was posting like in the middle of the night. I didn't even sleep. I went to sleep like at freaking 7 a.m. And man, I've let's just say that they took astrology out of everything for a reason, and now everything makes so much sense, bro.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there, bro. Like, and they made it to where, like, the religions made it to where it's like it's evil, it's twisted, it's dark. But yet, if you look at it if you look at it in, like, say, a 30,000-foot view, right? You take the religion out of it, you take your upbringing, you take all those things out of it, and this is where I'm telling you, this is where I feel like I cracked the code, and I said it so many times on the other shows, and even my show here, where when I saw the tarot, the astrology, the crypto deep divers, the freaking just economy deep divers, the people that were deep diving in the Q and Patriot movement, and when it all starts saying kind of the same thing, it all starts to point towards the same direction of what's coming and what's happening. And the religious people are even saying, like the prophets of today, dude, it blows your mind, right?
Yeah. So like, man, I don't want to say anything, but without offending people. But the biggest thing is that a lot of people take the Bible literally, but it's actually like a guide. It's actually like a it's a play. It's not a. I don't want to say playbook, but it's like it is a guide. Put it that way. And what was being told in a lot of the stories has to do a lot with planets. It's not really like to do with like physical people. And if you relate the astral bodies to what is being told, a lot of things make sense. Like, for example, like if you look in all religions, there's always a main deity or a main person that people pray to. Well, that main person that people are referring to is the sun. So it all has to do with like astrology and the sun and other planets, and like for example, if you look at, like, okay, if you wanted to look at from a strictly scientific point of view, look into quantum mechanics and understand that everything's a gear. It's a gear that controls a bigger gear that controls a bigger gear that controls a bigger gear. So everything, so the cosmos itself caters to what's that word I'm looking for? It has like a cage, like it has rules, it has laws, and it's not like nothing just happens out of nowhere. Everything is connected, and it's connected for a reason. And if you were to see, for example, like our solar system is controlled by another solar system, and that's Sirius and Nibiru and all those other things. And then that goes to another constellation, and that controls another constellation, and through all these constellations connecting equals the Milky Way, and then that equals like the higher galaxy, and that equals a higher being, and then all this leads to stuff that was found in Iraq, in Iran, in Syria, and the whole like they found stargates and stuff like that. So we humans have been exploring the cosmos for centuries. So this is the reason why the food system, the money system, everything is to make sure that we stay in our basic like survival skills, like the animal part of us, not like the spiritual being part of us, because we're all just spiritual beings. Remove the vessel, we're all light, and like, that's the biggest thing. You know,
you hit it on the head. Like, that's the world we've been living in. Is the dog eat dog mentality, right? Like, like raising up kids and stuff to where it's like, I'm going to get you before you get me. You know, that Survivor freaking game show kind of mentality, or even Trump show. Like, I wasn't a big fan of Trump show, The Apprentice.
Yeah.
Because it's very cutthroat. And my thing is, it's like, those shows aren't teaching people how to treat people good and how to be a good person. They're teaching you how to be cutthroat, and that's kind of the world we've been living in. And I think we're moving away from that. Obviously, it looks like it's getting pretty twisted out there and getting pretty ugly, but I would argue that we're moving towards something better. But there are timelines involved, and we're changing them every day. I think we end up at the same place, right? Like they say that the timelines all end up at the same place in the end, right? So whether that happens or not, I believe it, but we'll see. How long it takes, I don't know.
So the main thing, like, excuse me. So the main thing that, like, if you listen to Trump and what he's referring to about, like, it had to be this way and its timing is everything and this and that. What he's referring to is he's referring to the celestial bodies and how they move, and he's also referring to how our sons, like, we have our sun and then we have Nibiru, right? So Nibiru and our sun are dancing, and they're dancing in a figure 8, and it's a 24,000 year cycle, and we've been under this basically like this spell for the past 2,000 years, and completely misguided, and that is coming to an end, and that's where a lot of this financial stuff holds. Like, if you look back at, like, I on my tweets, I said, like, 1933 was when everything changed, and it's true. That's when we all became, like, products or, like, part of the corporation and all that stuff. So, like, where people get confused about the whole money thing, it's not, like what I said last show, it's not really about cash itself, like the physical holding of cash. It's what it represents. It represents debt. So it's not like the physical note could go away anytime soon or whatever. If it does, it does. It doesn't really matter. But it's about what it actually represents. You know what I mean? So when you see the UPI service and how they still have cash, well, how do we not know that note that was once debt is now something of value? They still have notes. They still use the digital system, and that's the other part of it, is that in order to give power back to humanity, you have to remove the powers that are controlling it, and those powers are the banks. So you have your Nostravaschos and you have all those, but if you eliminate that, well, everyone is free again. So that's where Ripple and all this other stuff and all the blockchain technology and all this stuff comes into play, because it's more of like we're eliminating governing bodies that are just stealing from us.
Hey, I wanted to add on to that. You know how so I said it for a while, and a lot of people are seeing it more and more now too, especially if you're into the astrology stuff or open-minded. Where we're going, this is actually a fact. We're going into a new age, right? We're in the age of Aquarius.
Yeah.
Well, what I realized is I was watching Beyond Mystic, because I watched them guys for years now. But I've been missing them because they're only really on Rumble now. And they were saying, "What's up, LEET?" I want to finish what I was thinking real quick, but real quick. The age of Aquarius. This is kind of wild, guys. It blows my mind now that I'm thinking about it. It is literally, I can't make this up. They said that it's literally the age of decentralization. So doesn't that make sense for where we're at? It's so crazy. Everything's going to be decentralized, right?
Yeah, and I think we're going to go.
Make sense for where we're at? It's so crazy. Oh, we're having feedback.
Feedback, Ellen. I think, damn, it messed up my brain.
Maybe LEET. What's up, bud? We haven't heard from you yet.
I lost my train of thought.
Not much, mate. I just made myself a cup of coffee. Thought I'd get online, and went on YouTube, and I see that the show's on.
Well, we appreciate you, man, coming from down under to come hang out with us. All right, you got your fresh brewski. You're ready to do this. Coffee time with Ray.
No, it's just a latte, man. I'm a softie.
All right, so Father Allen, what you got, buddy? Yeah, happy Friday, Father Allen.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday,
Father
everybody.
What's up,
God put it in us.
That's funny, dude.
Put that right in us. That's right. You put that love of mankind in us. That's what you guys are all talking about tonight. It's pretty deep. We're going deep tonight.
It's nice to see rain. We hear the voice, now we see the face.
Yeah. Well, Alan
Deep Dive Fridays with Ray.
Love, man. This whole thing is about love. Like, if you listen to any stories or anything, it's love that's always internal, and that's what it comes down to. It is that, you know,
love, respect.
If you were to search for enlightenment comes with being on a higher vibration, and that's when you're connected to God, obviously, right? And you're literally downloading things.
Wayside.
In order to get to that point, you have to let go of your ego.
Hello, Ellie.
And in order to let go of your ego, you have to have love and compassion. So,
hey, I want to chime in on that, dude. Like, so since I would say 2021, I've been working on my ego. Now, you can't completely destroy the ego because you need the ego to survive, right? Mm-hmm. It's what will get you out of bad situations, but it's also what will get you in trouble because your damn ego's too damn big, right? And so that's why I'm like, hey, I'm tired of talking about shit. I'm gonna show some shit. I'm gonna show that Rain was saying shit in 2019 that most folks weren't talking about in our community. And rather than bragging and people thinking I just have a big ego, I had to show it, right? That's what I showed earlier. So anyone that didn't get here in time, they missed that. So maybe we'll do a premiere one of these nights where I just throw an old show on. We sit back, watch it, and go back and see what we were all doing back in the day. It's pretty cool. I don't have everything, but I do have some material of the old days, and it's pretty cool to see because I'm curious too. What the fuck was I saying? Because you know, I was saying certain things, but anyways, it's kind of cool. But no, I've been working on the ego, and you do have to crush the ego in order to be a better person. You are right, Nerdy. You actually won the contest. You won the game show tonight on that one, on that question. I was just kidding. Hey. But Wayside, let's hear from Wayside real quick.
What's up, Wayside?
How's it going, everybody? I hope everybody's doing good on this beautiful Aloha Friday.
Nice.
We're doing good. It's Saturday.
We're all doing good, bro.
Yeah. Ellie, you ahead of time over here. You way ahead of time.
I'm way ahead, man. Time. It's Saturday midday. I'm in the future.
That's right.
Exactly. You're in the future. Wayside's in the past because he's like a couple hours behind me, and then I'm behind frickin' Alan. He's kind of in the future for me. It is kind of weird. The whole timelines with the time zone things, timelines, time zones. I guess it's the same thing, right?
Yeah, that's the same time we're here.
Where are you at right now, Ellie? What country?
Australia.
Aussie.
Okay. What part of Australia?
Kangaroos.
What part of Australia?
I'm in New South Wales, east.
Oh, okay.
Right in the hood.
So you're kind of like it compared to the United States, you'd be like North Carolina as far as climate, pretty much. Not so hot, but not so cold either.
More like California.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, we get around like 15 degrees, 12 degrees winter. You know, if it's a sunny day, we get up to 17.
Hey, I got to do a quick check real quick. The music, is the music loud or is it good?
Perfect.
It's good.
Okay, because I was listening to the last stream, and when I had the music on originally in the beginning of the stream, it was so loud, and I lowered it down. I kind of got it after a while that it needed to come down a little bit. So just wanted to get that. Just trying to do a good show here. All right. Anyone?
Going back to the ego thing. The main thing about the whole ego thing is about like knowledge doesn't have an age. So, for example, someone younger than you would know something more than if you're older. A lot of people who are older who think that, oh, you're younger, you don't know nothing. But that person could have a different experience or a different perspective that you don't have. And that's the beauty of having intellectual conversation with different people from different perspective, is that you're changing ideas. And that's the whole point of learning and being here. So for the fact that no one knows anything, no one can ever know everything. Like that position is already taken. You know what I mean? Like we're only here to figure it out again. And once we figure it out, that's when we get the answers of know how to act, how to be, and feel confident in all those things. And that comes with maturity. That also comes with enlightenment. So it's more of like it's like a learning process. Like we're light beings going through school, and when you graduate, you go to the next level, and that's death and beyond or whatever that is. But yeah,
I'm gonna graduate I'm going to graduate once I see the portfolio in a nice amount.
I hear that.
Hey,
Yeah.
I want to say something real quick about say a younger person, versus an older person. Like, I have met younger people that were like, you could tell they were old souls, right? There's a big difference, and you could tell it's like, well, the music they like, it's older music, right? It has a different flavor. It's more, maybe it's more sophisticated, right? And you're like, man, you're pretty young to be liking that kind of music, or they're learning about stuff, and you're like, interesting. And you do hear about where like the 5-year-old kid comes to this freaking veteran of World War II or something and goes, hey, and he knows him, and he knows all the people that were with him on the boat, and they were in war together, and you're going, what the hell? He knows the ranks, so it's like, the reincarnation wheel will sometimes show itself, it's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, a younger person can have some wisdom, meaning that maybe it's in their taste or whatever, as far as what they like, because they're an old soul. So knowledge comes from obviously learning things. Wisdom comes from experiencing things. So wisdom is, to me, is more sacred than knowledge in a lot of ways, because you've learned a lot of lessons, hopefully, through the wisdom, right? Like the teachings of experiences.
And that I think that goes along with being like, not being judgmental, and understanding that every day in any given point, you can learn a lesson that you never figured out, and you can be like, oh goddamn, why didn't I think of that before? So I don't know.
Hey, shout out to Crypto Camper and all the other people in the chat. I'm having fun with being able to bring everyone's chats up on the screen. So have fun, man. Have fun with the chat. Thank you. Thank you everyone for showing up, hanging out. Anyone else got anything?
I missed 20 minutes of the show. I'm not sure what y'all were talking about, but
I was showing my old stream that I recovered yesterday, and showing how I was talking about all these crazy things back in 2019.
Yeah,
and I was scared to death.
Rain was just straight dropping bombs in 2019.
I was, and one of them was in this particular show. The reason why, because I was like, why did I have this particular show? And it's because what happened is I got banned, or I got a particular stream was banned worldwide, and it was after the vid 2020, during the vid, right, during the V, and it got banned because I was talking about someone being indicted for being part of that and moving biological stuff across, out of the country into another country, and it was banned worldwide. And I'm like, okay, this stream I think might get banned, so I ended up making a copy of it, and it was because I was talking about the Nasara stuff. And if you look into the Nasara stuff, no one was talking about it, guys, in our community at all, and I was scared because supposedly it was tied to 911, meaning that's why it happened, was because of that, the change that we're trying to do right now. The change is happening right now. It was supposed to happen
all just
20 years ago. Go ahead.
Sorry, Rain. But it was all just to control the masses. They were trying to obtain those shiny objects in the bottom of the dungeon, and nobody knows where the hell it went. And that's just where the crumbs led us.
Supposedly somebody has satellite images of trucks and where the things went. Shiny things went.
All right, so I don't agree that nothing will happen. I think as far as the SEC goes, maybe they don't do anything, obviously about ETHgate, because obviously they're part of it, but not all of them, but some people involved. But I do believe there's a reckoning coming, and it's coming for everything and everyone. So, make sure you clean your slate, and you haven't, you're not doing anything that's unscrupulous, right? Like, let's all be above board and do good things, right? Like, it's so hard for these people that are in supposedly higher places to be good people, right? Like, good people, like, and why? It's because they're corrupted, right? Regardless of whether they come in as good or not, they're corrupted. Gary came in as a freaking, like, he was like, oh my God, he's amazing, right? He's from MIT. He knows Bitcoin. Everyone was praising him. He was a sheep in you know, or a wolf in sheep's clothing. Sorry, but I would say a sheep because he's just a puppet.
He's still okay because he kept the prices down so we can load up.
Yeah, right.
All right. Let me read. Can I read this, Rain, real quick?
Yeah, go. Yeah, go. What you got, buddy? What's it on the
Okay.
gate or what?
So we're talking about 9/11 and stuff like that, right? And I actually came across something. It was just written in a it's part of like an agenda book type of thing. I came across it yesterday. Basically, it says one of the main reasons for President George W. Bush invasion of Iraq in 2003 was Saddam Hussein's alleged weapons of mass destruction. Those weapons were never actually found. So then, why would the Bush and his British counterparts, Tony Blair, waste their political career and legacy on such unreliable pretexts? Dr. Michael E. Sala believes that the doggy dozer that Bush and Blair used as a pretext for invading Iraq was a cover for the true motivation to find and activate a Stargate, possibly hidden beneath the dark ziggurat of Enzu, which was the lair of the notorious Sumerian sorcerer Gimbal Ishbo. Salah describes a Stargate as an artifact that allows instantaneous space-time means of travel to teleport from one place to another. In 2003, paper entitled Exopolitical Perspective on the Preemptive War Against Iraq, Dr. Salah claims that there is evidence for long-term extraterrestrial involvement in Iraq dating back to the ancient summer. Dr. Salah cites historian Zakara Sitchin to identify a group of some 200 aliens known as Nephilim who rebelled against their superior in the region of Iraq, Iran. Salah also points to Elohim, who interact with and perhaps even created the earliest civilization on Earth. These beings collectively are called Anunnaki, come from our solar system, but most mysterious planet Nibiru. Nibiru has such an elliptical orbit around the sun that it will only travel to within the orbit of Jupiter once every 3,600 years. 3,600 years. The rest of time is spent in darkness of the outer solar system. 1 second. Okay. Okay. Dr. Salah cites historian Zachariah Sitchin to identify a group of some 200 aliens known as Nephilim who rebelled, blah, blah, blah. So, okay. American officials were concerned that with the Stargate, Saddam Hussein could have traveled to Nibiru and obtained advanced extraterrestrial weapon and possibly Anunnaki allies. They conquered a fake evidence to invade Iraq in order to avoid an interplanetary war, said Dr. Salah. I think that was a big part of the reason why Bush administration went into Iraq was to stop Hussein from revealing this information, also to get control of Anunnaki Stargate themselves. In 1991, Nibiru came through the outer solar system of Anunnaki being once again visited to the Earth. However, an Anunnaki sorcerer was accidentally shot down by the U.S. Air Force during the first Gulf War. Dr. Salah claims that while Hussein controlled the search for Stargate in southern Iraq, the Germans were excavating the Sumerian city of Uruk, and the United States monitored the entire area from the sky. Then the Bush second again invaded Iraq in 2003 was Operation Iraq Freedom and the accumulation of search for the Stargate. Did the U.S. and its allies find and remove the Stargate? It's unknown and highly unlikely that we'll ever be able to confirm the existence of Stargates to Nibiru when the cover-up is on such interplanetary scale. And this may sound like hocus pocus, but if you look into the Hillary dossier and the email that was on WikiLeaks, she actually
it talks about it. Yes.
Yeah. So
do you notice how they start with they say Nephilim, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Nephilim have been talked about since the beginning of time, really. I mean, they were the only proven ancient aliens that ever existed, but they were half-breeds. They were, you know, bred with angels. When the angels got kicked out of heaven, they, you know, had sex with females here on Earth, and they had children. But you know, it's funny. Many different cultures throughout time have talked about these ancient aliens and the portals, and there's drawings of all these things all over the planet, you know. But ever since the beginning, they've suppressed this information. Like when we're talking about our current presidents, you know, in our lifetime that we know have suppressed this information because they don't really want the truth out there. You ever wonder why we don't have like these Nephilim bones sitting in a museum somewhere? They can't really let this real evidence out that God actually exists. There were demons manifesting themselves as, you know, fake beings, so to speak, to scare the masses into, you know, submission. It's just been always the case ever since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys remember the dam in Iraq, Mosul Dam? Do you guys remember when we were there?
No, I don't remember the.
We were basically
when we invaded. Yeah.
We were holding the dam, and I remember hearing stories of soldiers hearing like blood-curdling screams right under the dam. And the story is that there's demons, Nephilim or whatever, that were chained in underground underneath that dam. And then when you hear the soldiers, you know, telling stories about it, like that were there, and it's kind of crazy. And then you hear about the red-haired giants that they encountered in Afghanistan, and yeah, the portal thing or the Stargate, I definitely did hear about that. And then obviously, if you're seeing it in the emails, like, you know, that's real. Like,
yeah,
it tells you that, yeah, there's other things going on. And, you know, you may think, oh, it was because of the oil. Well, yeah, it's because of the oil, power, and greed, but it's also in control. But it's also other things going on. Like, so like Indiana Jones, right? You got to think about that movie. That shit was real. The Germans were doing that. They were running all over the world. They were trying to find the spear of destiny that they stabbed Jesus with on the cross. They figured that if we got that, we'd get all kinds of power. And they probably wanted that freaking stone that they use for kings, right? That supposedly King Charles doesn't have the real one. He's got a fake one, and the Scots have the real one. They never gave it back because they took it, right? Like, so there's a lot going on in our world that we don't really know about, but yet we do know about it, or some of us, right? Like, or inklings of it.
Have you seen the most recent movie of that one? Where
the newest Indiana Jones? No, I haven't seen it.
So basically, bro,
the Stargate, right?
Bro, okay, and it's not that, man. They go back to the Romans. They talk about the Nazis. They talk about the whole thing and how they have this dial, the Archimedes dial, and all this other stuff, man. They're literally shoving it in your face about time travel and stargates and stuff, and everyone's putting it as science fiction, but it's like they're just shoving it in your face. And the biggest misconception that people have is that astrology is bad. That's completely false. We lived in a world before that. Christianity was a mass global religion. Like, everyone was in it, and this is why you can see little European men wearing their Irish stuff, wearing their little European stuff on like Indian freaking temples, and carved in stone on there. And people are like, why the hell is this European man and carved? Well, that's why. It's because, and that goes back to Tartarian and stuff like that. Is this like even in our scriptures, it says that, hey, Jesus was this gold-skinned, blue-eyed, red-haired man that was of his time, and he was coming to save his people. Like, that was his only thing. That was his objective, was to save us. And like, and the thing that we have in our Vedic religion is we have, like, we know about the war that's been going on between basically good and evil, right? And we call them Devdas, which are like the gods, and then the Asuras, which are like the evil people, right? Now, Nimrod.
Nephilim.
Nimrod is, Suda, he is an evil. He is like evil from the core. That is like demonic from the core, right? And what they're trying to do throughout time is basically make a new age form of what is the truth, and then manipulate it to be of control and to turn into like a slave system. But what is real is that we are actually connected, and there was a global religion at one point, and we did actually live in peace at one point, and we did trade with each other at one point, and we had a beautiful thing going, and then people just shifted, and that goes to I don't want to point anybody out or anything, but it derives from like Mitra and like Ura Mazda, and then that is like a representation. They use some of that and formed it, combined it with which represents the sun, and then they turned that into Christianity, and the Catholic Church used Nimrod, the fish, and then they still wear the hat till this day and all this stuff. So that's the difference between a good sun and a black sun, right? It's like your good spirit and your bad spirit, but they're both the sun. But it's like one is enlightenment and one is control and greed and ignorance. So we're living under the greed, control, and ignorance. Whether that's why in some people, for example, you see a lot of people who go suicide, and they're like, "Oh, this is what life cannot be. Why am I feel trapped?" and all these things. Well, it's your spirit that's literally just like trying to shake you and tell you that this is not right. This is not the realm that you're living in, an illusion. There's more to you. You're supposed to seek higher knowledge. You're supposed to meditate. You're supposed to seek, like, go sit down barefoot next to a tree and like feel everything around you.
No. They want you burnt out and stressed out and just work until you retire. Then when you retire, you pass away 2, 3, 4, 5 years. 4 or 5 years of I got 5 years of my retirement, and then right. That's what they want, and that's what they've been getting. But when people start waking up, they start taking better care of themselves. They start detaching from the matrix, right? They start coming up with other ways to make a living and not be trapped in the maze.
That's not going to happen unless somebody shows the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's just going to keep on doing what they're doing, getting loans and getting these juices into them when the government tells them it's time to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody thinks for themselves.
Yeah.
Hey, does anyone here remember Rob Cash? Did you guys know Rob Cash from back in the day?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I was just wondering because he popped up. He said, "Oh, I wish I could have saw the stream or whatever," but I guess he's going to be there in New York. You may see him there. He's pretty popular. He kind of has been out of the scene for a little while, but he used to be a YouTuber and very, very popular right back in 2018, 19, 20 maybe.
The proper party.
Anybody going to the proper party other than me right now?
I have my tickets booked and everything, but I'm seeing the immigration crisis going on in New York, and I'm kind of double guessing everything right now.
You're doing what? Say that again,
dude.
I'm double thinking if I should go or not. Everything's booked, everything's paid for, and everything, but I don't know if I'm really gonna go. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on in the city. I don't know if I want to be part of it.
I was going to say, like, I said that too before. I'm like, I'm never going to go to New York, especially right now, dude, because it's a mess. It's a disaster, guys. Like, and hey, it has to happen, though. That has to happen for people to wake the F up, right? Mm-hmm. That this shit that's been going on that people have been ignoring, and they're, too busy on their TikTok or their video games or whatever it is, they're distracted. And now they're being forced to see what has been going on for a long time, where it's like you're a crab boiling in water and you don't see what's really going on. You're just chilling. Hey, it's kind of warm, but feels pretty good. It's not too bad, right? And boiling over time, right? So it's nuts, man. What's up, Marvin Davis? Everyone else, Ralph Cooper, what's up?
Another thing I just want to say real quick, going back to what we were talking about, is I actually found the answer to one of my questions. So in our culture, we know of you guys see them as gurus, or people who are like dedicated to a religion and stuff like that. Well, anyways, when these people meditate some people meditate so long that they turn into stone, right? Well, the reason for that is it's actually scientific. Actually, you can actually take science and put it with religion, and when the missing catalyst is astronomy. If you put it all together, it all makes sense. Well, the biggest thing is that because we're magnets and because we have energies, is that through our crown chakra, which is on top of our head, when we meditate, we're actually making a tutorial field around us. And when you're doing that, you're actually going through like time dilation. So the time that you're spending within your meditating field, your own force field, is you're basically like speeding up time, right? Because you're getting the closer you go to source, the faster time moves. The further you get from source, the slower time moves. So as people get closer to source, to us, it seems like this person has turned into rock, or this person has, left the body, whatever it may be. But in that person's perspective, they're actually just like, it feels like a couple minutes to them. But in our perspective, from us not being in the same field that they're in, it seems like, oh, they're decaying or whatever. But that's the difference. And this is why in Nimrod or what's the guy who says the G? They call it the G. Well, anyways, his tomb.
You talking about Gilgamesh?
Yeah, Gilgamesh. Yeah. So in Gilgamesh's tomb, they found like a celestial way of how to preserve the body, and basically he was in a time warp, and that's what they found, all the crystals and all this other stuff in there. But what people don't understand, and why we see the snake everywhere, is because the snake it's a representation of time itself. So that's why you see snakes everywhere. It's representative of time.
Snakes is representative time, you just
Funny
said?
how you mentioned snakes. Here in Australia in the last week, we've had snake stories and how they're getting bigger and people getting attacked by snakes. It's weird.
Yeah.
I had a little tiny one cross my path almost. Small little coral snake, probably like this big, crossed my front of my door this past week. So that's funny you said that. I was like, I actually filmed it.
Yeah. So
Alan, are you describing some other snake that big?
I
don't like spiders and snakes.
So there was back in history, there was actually a a lot of snakes are evil. Okay, don't get me twisted. Okay, a lot of snakes are evil, but there is a certain class of snakes that in our culture we represent them as nagas. This is an intellectual body of people. They are shapeshifters and all those things, but they're like the ruling class of these snake deities. But a lot of these snake deities are demonic. They are evil. Don't get that wrong at all. Okay, but it's just there was a treaty between the gods and demons, because the gods were it wasn't the god, it was actually like there was a guru, what we call sages. That's the word I'm looking for. So there was a sage that was doing they're doing a prayer, and one of the sages he did a prayer to eliminate all the snakes, and the snake king came down and was basically praying to him to stop whatever he was doing. And that's the treaty between humans and snakes. So, and that relates to what a lot of these demonic people want to attack our soul. Well, it's because they have like little snake rulers. So that's where all that stuff comes from. So there's a lot of misconceptions and stuff like that, but in reality it's all related. And that's why they try to skew the image and try to manipulate people to believe something that's not, but it's actually all connected. And it has a lot to do with celestial bodies. It has to do with here on Earth, in Hollow Earth, which is very real, and it has to do with stuff like that. So a lot of our history has been very skewed up and messed up, and people who talk about this stuff are deemed as conspiracy theorists or crazy or cuckoo, whatever. But it's that is the manipulation tactic used. So if you there's a saying goes to trust your heart or to trust your gut. Well, that's your spirit literally telling you, hey, pay attention. I'm trying to tell you something.
You're right. You're right. Totally right. I want to do a quick shout out real quick. Wayside, you talking?
I sorry.
Okay,
Go
hold
ahead.
on.
Shout them out, Rain.
I wanted to shout out Duber Dan. I guess that's Bob Moneybags. He's an old school streamer too from back in the day from the XRP Zoo in those days. So thanks for coming and hanging out. Go ahead, Wayside Soldier from Hawaii. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, just what Nerdy talking about. How culturally, that's actually more in line of, us tapping into the knowledge and whatever that happened. I should say to tap into history that happened before us, because our lineal descent, and that's all of us now, because we all had a mother, we all had a father, we all had a grandmother, we all had a grandfather, and so on and so forth. What everybody don't realize is that it's imprinted in all of our spirits. We inherited everything that happened in the past. It's almost like our ancestors were done wrong, and in the result of that, we gonna now receive not I guess you could say it's like compensation because of all the in Hawaii pilau or bad stuff is done, or dirty, or however you like to call it. But yeah, it's just can feel them so close right now, even over here in Maui, that energy is being shifted right now as we speak. Go I wanted to hit up on some more of the cultural stuff, but I like listening to what Nerdy has to say. He has a lot of for his
So
another thing was the Hawaiian people, the Polynesian people, were considered voyagers, and history goes that we have traveled all through the Pacific just by the stars and the orientation of where the sun rises and falls, and then in the nighttime of the stars itself. So it wasn't like they weren't looking at the stars, you know what I mean? They were actually using it in reference to where a certain island that they already have been to is, whether they're coming or going from that island, and then going off and finding new islands. And that's exactly how the Polynesian people were I should say populated Polynesia. And like everybody knows, most of the cultures, they had some type of supernatural help or knowledge that was passed on from wherever I should say their source of life comes from. And over here in the islands, the source of life is water, basically, because water is what makes everything live over here. Everything needs water to survive, and the water flows from the top of the mountain all the way to the sea, which is how it's supposed to flow. It's kind of like even how the anatomy of the body works. We ingest things through certain orifices, and then we eject things or project things through other orifices. And it's a wide variety of orifices, because it's not just A and B. There's other ways that energy and like the pilau, the dirty that we ingest from everything around us, that our body actually can heal itself. And if you put it in the right state of mind, which is what I think you guys was talking about with Gilgamesh and all of that stuff, because I know I mentioned it in, I forget whose stream it was in, but that I think it was over here that we actually have legends of that in our culture of giants, and I'm sure
Mhm.
we connecting that every other culture, or I should say every culture, has some sort of esoteric kinds of things going on that was passed on through generations and not written history.
Mhm.
But yeah, go ahead, Nerdy, or whoever else.
Hey, so you guys have any crypto stuff that you wanted to talk about tonight? Like anything that was breaking or?
I think so. Based on what we're talking about and what I found out, the reason for everything to happen, everything will probably happen during the 19th through the 25th of October. It's more of like it's a cosmos thing, and it's actually a ritual of wiping away the old and coming into the new. So I won't be surprised if a lot of things happen in October, and then November is seen as a very critical, like, passing down period. So that's why the 21st to the 23rd is very important. A lot of the calendar is very wrong. The year actually starts with March being number 1, and you can literally see the name that represents, like, Octa is 8, right? So if you start with March as number 1, you're gonna get October as 8. So that's why.
Seven. September.
Yes, 7 would be September if you go down that scale, exactly. So so to do with money and crypto and the way society is going, I expect a lot of things to, like, today's the 22nd, so today's a transition period from one sign to the next. So now we're actually into the whole October thing. So that's why we're seeing, like, for example, how we're seeing a lot of chaos happen right now and all those things. That's related to all of this. So this is why everything is connected.
Lloyd's Bank just invested 3 to 6 million euros with F.N.W.R for electronic documents a couple of days ago.
Nice.
To speed up the process of adopting it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're entering into the golden age of Aquarius, basically.
Yeah, remember I said that it's the age of decentralization, right? So it's just ironic, man. I mean, it's mind blowing to me. Like, you can't make this shit up. It's already been planned, and when I think of decentralization, I don't just think of crypto. I think of everything. Whether it be you learning, in school, you can decentralize that, which they've been trying to do for a long time. Decentralizing government, right? Decentralizing the banking more, investing. Like, if you want to invest your money in something, you should be able to invest your money in something. You shouldn't have to be accredited. If you lose your money, well, that's on you, right? And people learn from that, right? They, hopefully they learn from those things. But the whole accredited investor thing to me is a scam, and it's just to keep the regular folks out. So Jungle freaking Inc. What's up, bro?
Yeah, but
Popping bottles.
If there's corruption,
Go ahead.
If there's corruption, then there's certain things that are invented for people to invest to lose the money on purpose. So if we don't have that, if we have everything going towards the good, everybody will prosper.
I think a lot of things are going to the good. Look at, 6 months ago we had, like, destruction totally. We had on and off ramps getting closed around everywhere. I mean, we had no, like, serious hope and prayer. Now we got on and off ramps for XRP. We got, Uphold giving instant transfer fiat XRP. We never had that option. I mean,
we just need to get rid of the old system. Get onto the new rails.
Way more options on and off ramps. That's where I believe we're really starting to see the real value and real utility coming into play here. I mean, talked a little bit about it recently this week, and it's like we're seeing banks actually jumping on board, not only hiding the shit in the background, but they're actually talking about it. It's frustrating because we're at the inflection point. Like, they gotta push the button sometime, you know. And it's like they got everything lined up, and then I just, for the life of me, I can't figure out what they're waiting for. And we're at the end of the Jubilee, so we haven't completed the full end of the Jubilee yet. So isn't the Jubilee debt relief, debt restructuring?
That's in October.
That's what a Jubilee is.
You're right.
So if we're going to have a failure in a debt restructuring, why wouldn't it be in October? Or would we see is potentially how it's usually happened, like back in 2008, 2010, really, is when we saw the financial collapse really, really take effect. You know, it was like 2008 when the market really collapsed, but it wasn't until like 2009, early into 2010, where you felt the real repercussions of the actual financial collapse. So maybe we're at the point where, you know, it's coming, but they're not going to really feel the real pain until afterwards, so to speak. But aren't we supposed to have price before, you know, collapse? So I mean, I think that's kind of where we're at. I think we're at that moment where we could potentially get a nice little pump, crash to where everything looks like it's going to zero, 99% of crypto go away, and then boom, full utility switch on, like, you know, face melting, crazy pump, like going and not stopping kind of deal.
Well, the funny thing is though that David Schwartz has been, you know, on camera video saying many times about flipping the switch, and I think even Brad Garlinghouse talking about we could just flip the switch, or when they're ready they flip the switch. So the flip the switch saying is so real. It's like the glitches. The glitches are real glitches. I wanted to say, Tina Hall said, "Crypto campers, something must be up. The gang is resurfacing." Laughing out loud, like all of the old heads are coming in here because I've been tagging them on Twitter, on X, whatever you want to call it. So right on to the chat and everyone that's shown up. Moneybags. I don't know if Jungle Leak knows that that's Bob Moneybags. Is what the frick's his name again? I can't even remember his name. Duber Dan. Duber Dan. Sorry. So yeah, go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
One thing I want to add is I don't know if anybody watched Darren Moore's new video. Bro, just like he went hard on that one. He put out so many facts. Okay, so the main thing that came from that video was Ray Dalio talking about adoption and how adoption will go through it'll go warp speed every year. In the next 5 years, we won't even recognize the world. We'll be in a whole different world, right? It's just gonna be every year, boom, 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 price up, price up, price up. You know. Another big thing was Citibank. So the Citibank interview really blew my mind. Now, Citibank said something very, very important. Citibank said that it makes no sense for them to operate on another chain when they can operate everything natively on that one chain. That's very, very important because you can do everything on the XRP ledger, and then the XRP ledger connects to literally everything else. Like Ripple,
but wasn't it reported they were using some other than XRP, or is that just FUD to try to confuse us?
Well, here's the thing though, right? It's
of course it is FUD.
It's like they're all connected, okay? Like I said this on my Twitter, like if you're a maxi, you're gonna get fucking destroyed, okay? Because you have to understand that it's a collective, like it's literally interoperability where Quant and Ripple are working hand to hand. You have, you know, you can make anything, have anything, and then you just insert your Ripple API, and then boom, you're connected. You do all that, you write all that on Overledger, you know, and then boom, you're set up. That connects with Chainlink, and that connects with Swift, and that connects with everything else. Then you have Energy Web, and then you have the satellites, which connects to NVIDIA and Oracle. Oracle is huge. Oracle is a big player in this whole thing.
Everything complements everything. Basically.
Yeah. So Oracle connects all the Clouds, and then you have Azure, and Azure, IBM, and all that stuff. And then you have Watson X, which is the AI, and then you have NVIDIA that's controlling the AI, and then you have SpaceX and Starlink, which is making the satellites, and then you have the new satellite phone that's coming up, and the network, and that connects with T-Mobile, and then that connects with Energy Web, and how are we going to monitor everything, and then that connects with Constellation and DAG, and how are we going to have a quantum-based secured system. So it's like literally everything connects. So it's yeah,
they're building it right. They're building the system right next to the original system, and the original system is fighting back like there's no tomorrow. and they're freaking throwing all their freaking evil magic at it. They're throwing every kind of distraction you can think of. They got the media fighting it. They got the freaking politicians in there in the trenches, right? That don't even know what they're talking about. They just read a script because they don't know a clue about. Well, there are some smart politicians. I got to admit, they're on the good side, right? And they're standing up and they're being educated. They're trying to educate the people. But there's a lot of dumbos that are fighting this, right? I think Gary Gensler's a dumbo. But anyways, that's just my opinion.
It's already built. Everything's already built, ready to go.
Yep.
He's a puppet.
We're literally just waiting for a blackout, bro. Once the blackout happens, it's like blackout, Trump comes back, people start like when we start seeing like Tony Podesta get indicted, and we start seeing all these other people get indicted, and then like I think there was a case where Fauci just got indicted for crimes against humanity, right?
Well,
he got accused of crimes against humanity. I don't think he actually got indicted.
The fact that they're talking about it, right? Like, and what if this October is the October that was talked about in 2017 on the posts, on the boards? I mean, that would blow my freaking mind. I'm thinking, maybe it's 2024, but dude, it could be this year. And I'm going to tell you what, just like 2020 blew my mind. Even though I saw things coming and I told people, I'm telling you, man, there's going to be martial law, guys. I didn't know what it was going to look like, right? 2020 happened. And then, so if this happens, it will kind of get me just like 2020 did, but I kind of knew it, but I didn't know the timing. So my timing generally has been off by 5 years or more on when I see things, right? So, or when I get the download or whatever, however I come up with it, when I see the vision and then I say, yeah, this is going to happen. This is what's coming. I'm usually about 5 years off. So.
The main thing that people have to understand is that everything connects to the United Nations. The only competitor to destroy the United Nations and their army, which is NATO, is BRICS. If America simply just joins BRICS, we have a new world. It's literally simple as that. That could be the flip of the switch moment.
For sure. I mean, they have what? How many? 7 nations for sure on lock. There's another 40 in line waiting for applications, whatever the case may be. We know we're going to have at least 25% of the entire world moving off the dollar.
In January, we got the main ones joining. Sorry, Alan.
No, go ahead, Ellie. Ellie, go ahead.
There's major ones joining January. BRICS, Saudi Arabia, Arab Emirates, Egypt, Iran.
Yep. Digital. Who's holding this up? Digital wallets, phones, computer. I was talking about it last night.
That's from 2019. That's from 2019. That's my video from 2019. I was wanting to show some of the people. Yeah, we were showing this earlier. So you see the tip bot over there? This is old school, guys. And what was
tip bot? Whoa.
Yeah, tip bot right here. You could still freaking dude, if you took your phone and you were to click on that. Or take your phone out and do a picture of it. It would say tip bot and it would say who it was, right? It's mind blowing. It doesn't work. I don't think it works anymore, obviously. But anyways, this was an old stream from 2019, and I did a presentation with all this stuff I was saying about gold backing the dollar and gold, silver will destroy the Fed. Yeah, we got Where We Go One, We Go All, Channel 7 News you can trust with Rain, right? And then I have under here was scrolling. It's XRP, the standard. Like here, hold on, let me show it real quick. Stock it automatically does it. XRP, the standard. XRP will be number one. I'm just saying this is what's coming. Smart everything, basically. Machine to machine, micro payments. That's going to be freaking huge too. But think about it. Coil, tip bot, all those things that are being created. Stellar is actually working on micro payments through machine to machine. So that's pretty huge.
It is pretty huge.
All right. I'm gonna take a drink of this.
Hold on, sorry.
Hodl approved.
Oh, hold on.
65 alkaline electrolyte infused water here. That is not a plug. They're not sponsoring me. Rain gets no sponsorship. He does everything for free. Yeah, I'm all. That was fucking. This is a Hodl approved bottle of water because fucking Jeff from On the Chain. He used to have these huge bottles of water. So it was almost like a competition. It's just funny. But yeah, so this would have been lost, man. If I almost didn't get into that computer. And like I said, I only have this stream, I think, because I thought it was going to get banned, so I made sure I recorded it. But yeah, I shouted out Jungle Link. He was in there. Jungle Link's in the beginning of the stream. He was in there. I shouted him out. GXRP, GDLT. He was GXRP back then. So, anyways, hold on. Let me get this out of here again.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we have Iran, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Argentina, Algeria, Bolivia, Indonesia, Egypt, Ethiopia, Cuba, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Comoros, Gabon, and Kazakhstan.
Is that everyone that signed up for the BRICS?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were the.
So did you have India? Did you have India in there? Didn't they pull out?
Oh, they're the original. No, they haven't pulled out.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking.
They're the eye in the BRICS.
Yeah, they're the eye in the BRICS, and exactly.
Correct.
So that's why I was like, because that came out. I think that was FUD, but it did come out that they were like, oh no, they changed their mind and all this stuff, right? Like, because I remember. I remember
India can't change nothing their mind because they depend on Russia and China.
Oh, they would be fools. They would be fools to side with the losing side because the losing side is the West. Sorry, but it's true. It's a fact.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Father Alan.
Yeah, with our G7, I think it's going to be a losing battle if we have the rest of the world moving off our dollar. Even if we did G7 teamed up together and had our own currency, let's say. But I do believe, I did hear someone talking about this today, that, he was basically saying that the rest of the world is going to use gold, and we'll use, because we're not going to say that XRP is backed by gold, we're just going to use the XRP as a settlement agreement, for settlement real time, because we know that the Fed now is online and they're going to use the XRP to move that value, and especially the debt, this so-called, jubilee of debt. It's got to go on a ledger. It's got to get written off, whatever, if it's going away or not. So that's value. That's anything that moves through the ledger uses XRP as value. You have to own it to move the money, whether it's debt or current value of whatever currency. So, I mean,
that's what I heard, Father Alan. That's what I heard. They'll use some sort of BRICS token or whatever. They'll ask the West to pay in that. West will say, no, we've got XRP.
All right, so check it out. So earlier we were talking about the different things that were converging, right? And I mean, like, sources of information. And one of my sources is prophecy. And the prophecy was that this administration, this freaking fraud, right, will not get the glory, and they will have the crash will be on their term or during their term, right? And they will not get the glory of the new system. So I'm telling you, man, when DJT comes back, that's when everything breaks loose. Now, I'm not saying that there's going to be like movement, because XRP is worldwide. I've said this before, where it could have movement. It could still go past all-time high, right? $5-10 or whatever, but it's not going to do its, the ultimate moves until we break free. And I mean, the U.S., us as people, right? The world in general. Yeah. Like when we break free, when things are not impeded anymore, that's when I think we're going to see Bitcoin prices for XRP, early Bitcoin prices. Right. So if on the show, The Masked Singer, on that skit they showed us guys, if the low was 3,800, I'm a happy dude. I'm a happy crypto camper, right? Like in the highs of 99,000 XRP, I'm super happy, everyone. I'm bullish. I believe, and like I said, I'm just being realistic that there will be no credit given to this administration. Fact.
Yes. They're the sacrifice. They are the lamb.
How about Nerdy? How's that going? Shannon Thorpe, well, she was saying 3 to 7 months. How's that looking? That was like a month ago.
What is she saying about that?
XRP is going to be from 100 to $500 within 4 to 7 months.
Oh,
I
okay.
never take those price predictions.
So
Yeah, but
okay,
she works for Wells Fargo. She's a treasury there.
Did she
Listen,
really give a price that high? I don't think she even gave a
Yeah,
price
she
that
did,
high.
man. She
Really?
did give
Okay.
the price
Yeah,
on
she
X,
did.
on Twitter.
She got fired too, right? Like she's no longer with them. I heard, right?
Oh.
Is that a fact?
I don't know. I think you're right, Ellen. I don't think she works there anymore. One thing we have to remember. The one thing we have to remember is that there's a over $1 quadrillion debt bomb. It's debt plus derivatives, and it's, we have to remember about that. And then the M2 supply itself, which is dealing with cash, so it is dealing with transactions, is $17 trillion. In order for, if we were to, hypothetically, if we were to switch a system, you wouldn't be able to do it on a 51-cent XRP, right?
Oh,
It would technically, I think someone did the math like years ago. I think it was like $11,400 or some shit like that, right? Was what we need to like sustain what we have today or some shit like that, right? So I think my personal thought is not financial advice. My personal thought is that it's going to be levels to it. And I think it goes back to what Ray Dalio was saying about how each year in a 5-year span of time is going to be different from the next. And I think that's where you have, it's about adoption. So you're going to have like, I think Swift was saying that they already have 85.5% of people that are ready to switch over or are already utilizing DLT and stuff like that. So we already have like a majority of Swift. That's not including all the other ones, but that's just Swift alone. And in order to just handle Swift alone, I think it would have to be at least more than 1,000, at least, right? And I think that would kind of coincide with what Uphold was always posting about. Oh, XRP just hit 1,000.
Nerdy. Real quick. $1,000 XRP is 10% of Swift. That's $11 trillion in transactions.
So how much would it be to do the 85 then?
85% of Swift. I don't actually know that number because now we're talking quite a bit more money, quite a bit more of the circulating supply. So those tokenomics are a little bit higher number than I'm thinking. I don't even remember what it was, but
I'm not
I mean,
sure
realistically, we're not going to get
gradual.
all of it because I mean, let's face it. I mean, there's going to be competition. If you could get XRP at 3 cents, right? You're JP Morgan, let's say, or Bank of America. You're not going to let like the Bank of whatever, Republican Bank or something, get it for the same price as you, even though they're saying it's going to be an open market, everything's decentralized. Okay, great. But they're going to have more of the supply. So ultimately, I believe it's whoever gets the biggest bag the quickest when it does go online is going to be the winner here in this case. So I don't really think that $100 XRP is not obtainable with this first grab, because let's face it, if we get $1 more trillion in our market cap of XRP, that's a $33 XRP. $1 trillion in market cap extra.
Be right back. Be right back. Hold down the fort just for a sec. I'm going to let the dogs out. Who let the dogs out? Who?
So that's really simple. That could be literally like SBI that brings in $3 trillion with their custody assets that they've been talking about this whole year that they're going to bring online. And at the end of this month, SBI is supposed to be online 100%. Now, I don't know if all that volume is actually going to go across XRP or whatever have you, but honestly, I think there's going to be other chains that are going to grab some of that liquidity pool. Like, it's just like competition, I believe the mass is going to be going through XRP, but I believe, like you're saying, and we're all saying, there's going to be levels to this, as the more quadrillions of dollars actually flow through the network instead of trillions of dollars. Now we're talking, then we go from 100 to 1,000 to be 10,000 or even higher when we actually
But
get
they
those
have to price out the
quadrillion.
peasants. They can't let it go gradually.
Exactly. That's why I believe we're gonna have like a $10, maybe $20, whatever,
What about
That's still affordable.
Now-
That's still affordable. $10
before
is still
crash.
affordable. $100
It
is
is.
still affordable. If it's going to be 10 grand per XRP.
Here's what I want
$100 is
to
still
and
affordable.
to make everybody think about. Okay, a lot of people want to say, I need to make $10 million. I need to make $1 million. No, you don't. You need to make like 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 grand for you to live off of for the next year, 2 years, whatever you need, whatever you're making now. If that's really what you want to do, is like have generational wealth, only cash out what you really need for this year, next year, because let's face it, by 2025, I mean, we're more than likely going to have a financial collapse, I believe. I mean, like, of epic proportions. And then this price is going to be on lock. It's going to be full mass adoption at that point. And then we're going to see these crazy high prices. And that's going to be the only asset you're going to really even be trading anyway or using as currency. So you may as well just do it that way. That's my suggestion. That's what I tell people. Don't try to cash out $1 million or 10 million or whatever have you in this bull run and think you're going to make it. You're probably not. You know, you're going to be safer just taking a small amount out and, you know, waiting for the big money, because patience always wins in the long run.
I agree.
Don't ever sell all your bag.
Based on what you're saying and stuff, I 100% agree with you. And I think it relates to one of the pool posts who posted a $50 bill. So what if it starts at 50, and then it goes to the leap post of how, remember, it was leaping from 23 to 25. So what happened if, and we do know that the agenda was scaled back. They said, was it Grassley said that was going to happen 2 to 3 years earlier. I think that all relates to where we have everything from November of 2023 to November of 2024. We have just this transition period where we see, like, every month the price goes up a little by little, but we see more and more people adopting technology. And then on 2025, where I think it was January or November of 2025, where it's mandatory, right? So at the point where it's mandatory, that's when we see the huge, $1,000, 100, whatever millions of dollars that we see will happen after that point. But during the November to November period, you have $50 people are going to sell. You have $60 people are going to sell, 70, whatever. Keep going. People are going to sell. And who is going to be buying those? It's going to be the institutions. They're going to be buying up like Pac-Man, getting ready and preparing for the mandatory use case. You know what I mean?
So this is what they're preparing. This is what the banks are preparing. Like here in Australia, they're not allowing you to deposit money into exchanges if they decide it's shady. So pretty soon we won't be able to even purchase any crypto.
I agree.
So you'll be able to sell. You'll be able to sell, and you'll never be able to go back in.
Yeah.
Well, here's something funny that I don't think anybody's really been thinking about. This ISO compliance has been out this whole year. Right? The banks had time to get on board, learn about it, understand what it's going to be. I knew it was going to take forever once this first started. I actually went into some banks and started asking questions. Hey, you guys know about this? You know about that? Da, 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 da. Like, I was really digging to find out nobody knew jack.
They're lying.
No.
When I go onto my banking now on the app and I select the account, I can see all the transactions are so rich in information. Where the shop is, I've got a map of the shop. It's and a description of fast payments. It's already in. Banks are already using it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The amount of information that is needed was probably a stalling point for a lot of these banks and institutions, but I believe they got it now. They've had this whole year to really understand what it is.
Hey, did everyone have their V8 today? I don't do regular V8, but V8 Energy, dude, is epic. Just had to say that is a plug. They are sponsoring the show. I'm just kidding.
I was this morning. I was in the garage this morning, and I started my V8.
Right.
There you
That's
go.
all I own. I own
Got a
4
better-
V8s.
Got a better
I own 4
natural
V8.
V8 for you, Rain.
What's that?
A
I'm
way
sorry. Go ahead.
a way better natural V8. Take a whole Myers lemon, make sure it's very clean, cut it in 4 pieces, throw it into a blender, take some wild blueberries, mix it in with the lemon, and if you want to add something even extra just to make it better tasting, 2-3 strawberries, and drink the whole thing with about 10 ounces of water. And that'll be way more energy than you ever got from any energy drink.
Well,
and
this
tons
is
of
this
vitamin
is
C.
this is green tea though. This is all good shit. Like this isn't like the fucking Monster that has all that poison in it. So when you say the lemon, are you saying the whole lemon with this
The whole lemon,
the rind
peel and
or the
all.
brine?
Absolutely.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Dude, because that's I forget what they call that, the zest. My mom used to put the zest in the lemon meringue pie, which is where you scrape off some of the skin of the outer. What is that?
Your oxygen level will be.
Wait,
You'll get
V8.
when you
This is
when you
V8.
drink that, Rain. Your
V8.
oxygen level will increase by like 30%. You'll feel like you just like
Interesting.
took a hit of oxygen. Seriously, try it.
You
I
know,
don't-
you know what else reminds me of? You put the lime in the coconut and mix it all up.
The lime in
as we
the
get
coconut.
older, man, we need these level up type of things, like our limitless pill, So
Yeah.
my focus my focus has been for 30 years how to level up, how to increase my brain power, how to increase my energy levels, how to really fix, because I got a lot of pain. I got a lot of injuries that I've encountered over the years, bad car accidents and things like that. But so, the things I'm sharing with you are just like 20, 30 years of nutritional knowledge. And I grow my own food mainly because I want something better than I can get at the store. Mainly that's it. But I do also take really good supplements. The only thing I do take is blue-green algae, Hawaiian spirulina, where Wayside is. Hawaiian spirulina has every
Yes,
vitamin,
sir.
mineral, and amino acid in it. You don't even need anything else. Literally, you'll get all the nutrition you need from that one supplement. I don't waste my time on anything else.
I
To
have
Father
raw
Allen,
eggs.
to Father Allen's point, real quick, I had like 5 car crashes that none of them were my fault. So I know about pain and neck injuries, lower back, fucking pinched nerves, all that shit. So I've been on a hunt for all natural shit on how to deal with it for so long. I refused all their pain pills, all that shit. I even had a doctor tell me, you're not going to get anything. You're not going to get a settlement if you don't take those pain pills, because they're not going to think you're hurt. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I was so pissed, guys. Like, and he's like, well, okay, we'll put you on this other one and we'll wean it off. We'll wean you off. It'll be easier. It won't be, the other one's a little stronger. We'll wean you off. And I'm like, no, bro. Like, I deal with the pain, right? Like, and I have been for a long time. So there's alternatives, guys, to everything.
Should have
Right.
told him about other drugs.
Herb is a
There's a green alternative. Yeah, I have.
Yeah, there's always
unfortunately-
alternatives, man. Go ahead.
I have unfortunately several herniated discs in my neck. So believe
Yeah,
me,
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, I get
4,
you there.
5, and 6.
Sucks.
Yeah, like for about 3 weeks actually. That's why I'm actually leaning up against my couch recliner right now, because my neck has been killing me for like 3 weeks.
So check it out. Like, basically, they say that when you are looking down at your phone, or like when I was doing estimating, I'd have to look down at this tablet because we were
Correct.
getting it more advanced, and I found that looking down at the tablet to do an estimate, oh my God, it really hurt my neck. Right, and all those injuries, it didn't help. But they say that when you're doing that, it's like having a 60-pound weight on your head pulling your neck down.
Correct.
Right.
Like a welder.
So-
It's like you're
3
welding.
inch forward.
It's like you're welding. You got the welding mask,
Right, yes, it's
And you
pulling down. Yes.
and
You
they
have
got
to
the
be like-
common injury of the neck. Up the
You
top.
have to. I would have to like lay on the bed and freaking have my neck over the edge of the bed, going the other way, right, to help it out. Like, there's a lot of things you could do naturally. You don't need drugs for everything, but everyone like is so just quick to pop pills. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I don't want to get into that because I don't want to, bag on anyone that might, have to use pills for whatever. But
Right.
I just
Still popping
I
animals.
relate. Go
Panadol,
ahead.
Panadol and
Okay.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, the original Coca-Cola is what I used. The original,
Coca.
the one that Elon Musk said he's going to bring back.
The
Yeah,
one with the good
plenty
Yes,
of
he
it from that soda.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, hey,
That guy's
my
hilarious.
prediction is Elon is hey, if I say it and he hears me, oh well. I just be grateful that I'm curious and I thought it was going to happen. I think he's going to sign with Stellar. I think X is going to be on Stellar Lumens.
That'd be cool.
That's my
What about-
guess, man.
Hold
What
on.
about
I actually think they fear him and what he's doing. And also, you guys remember, guess what? It wasn't just XRP that was banned in New York recently. It was also Doge. And when that happened, I got an instant download, and it was basically, oh, yeah, because they truly are going to use Doge, and they're going to use XRP, probably going to use XLM, maybe some others, the BAT token, basic attention token. But I really believe when New York did that, it was a sign that, why? Because Elon Musk is so big and powerful, he's going to use those two coins, just those two. Well, not just those two, but those two, right? So they banned them, right? So it makes sense, guys. Does it make sense to you? You guys chime in.
Yeah, I mean, look at New
What
York's
happened to
had
XR
always
dollars?
regulations on crypto. Like it's been years. They've been off and on with their, adoption of crypto and not adoption of crypto. It's stupid. And this is, where's the case at? New York. I mean, it's all tied around this one stronghold, this one state in our United States that is just given a stronghold for adoption, But the reality is, I believe we're the ones that created this tech right here, I mean, it's like we can't be, if we started it here, we can't be like finish it here, you know what I mean? But realistically, are going to be the stronghold. That weight stack like everybody else got on before us, and that we're here now. Hey, we're here.
Hey,
What
Alan.
other countries are waiting to get on board now? What's
Hey,
up,
Alan.
Ray?
Remember about the UN treaty? And what did we give them? New York.
What? What are you talking about? What are
I'm
you
just
talking
saying,
about?
Look at the
Through the-
WEF thing that we just did. We
Are you
basically
talking about having their main headquarters in New York? Is that what you're saying? Or
No.
sovereignty?
we gave them New York.
When?
That was part
When?
of the thing. New York and all the city police works for the United Nations. That was part of the treaty.
What treaty are you talking about? The one that Biden signed?
the World
Did Biden
Economic
sign it?
Forum.
I'm pulling it up so I
Yeah,
can read it.
but his I don't really
Hey,
get
you know
into
what?
that.
Guess
We might
what?
get a
Guess
strike for
what?
all that.
Everything. If that's something that just happened,
No,
well,
this
guess
happened in
what?
33.
Guess what? What's that?
This happened in 1933.
Oh wow. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to get into all that because
Fed? Are you talking about the Fed?
Or 45. Which, hold on. Let me read. I'm trying to pull it up right now.
are you talking about like after World War II?
Yes. Okay. Okay. This is from the National Archives. On June 26, 1945, in San Francisco, the United Nations was formally established with the signing of the UN Charter. Article 111 of this charter indicated that the present charter, of which the Chinese, French, Russian, English, and Spanish texts are equally authentic, shall remain deposits in archives of the government of the United States, duly certified copies, blah, blah, blah. But basically, in this treaty, it says established in 1919 under the Treaty of Versailles to promote international cooperation and achieve peace and security. The League of Nations ceased its activities and failed to prevent global war. And that goes into the USSR and stuff like that. And we gave them, a part of the treaty was New York and city police and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think we've been the divided states for a while. I mean, we're at this point now with Texas. Hey, I mean, they're actually talking about like joining BRICS with the gold and doing a gold back, type of currency.
Hey,
I mean, it's pretty
remember-
bullish of our own state of Texas. Actually,
Remember, I don't know if you guys remember this. I was saying that these states, right, like they're actual countries in a way, right? If you think about it, if you look at the rest of the rest of the world, say Europe or whatever, like you have these different countries that are the size of our states, right? That
Yeah.
makes sense. That makes sense to me. And that would only be if I would say that would only truly happen if the good guys weren't going to come and take things back, right? Like I think we might have a couple rogue states or a few rogue states for a while, but I think what will eventually happen is that they'll collapse under their own weight, which would be California, New York, and Illinois. I mean, it's already really happening already. They're already collapsing under their own weight, right? It's kind of a facade in a way, but it's interesting that you said that because Texas, and when you think about it, is really its own country in a lot of ways. The way it's set up. Go ahead, Alan.
Florida, Louisiana is, they have parishes. They're called parishes for a reason. And then, here in the Keys, you got the Conch Republic. Florida's pretty. There's a lot of people that wouldn't want a Conch Republic here, but I mean, let's face it, if anything to break away from the current, I don't want to say, the current administration, I'll say it like that, anything to break away from the destruction of that. I mean, if a country is going to allow 2 million people to come through the border a month, I mean, we're already being invaded. We're allowing an invasion. So, I mean, we're at this point to where, I mean, are we really a United States anymore?
Well, we've had Great Britain. We've had Great Britain in the Eurozone, and then we had the Brexit. So maybe they've showed us that maybe United States will be breaking out.
Well, it's funny. You had, if you look back in the past, you had all of, Europeans, Eastern Europeans leaving their country and coming all over the world, and look where they all came, pretty much. It's like United States has been gathering more people, seems like, in the past 5 years than any other country, and look where our economy is going. It's going so far backwards that it's unsustainable. But they did the same thing over in Europe. They just crashed their economy, put tons of people in exile, just moving all over the earth, and it destabilized countries. This is what they did now here to United States. We're witnessing exactly like the beginning stages of Venezuela before the currency collapsed.
Yeah,
massive.
I think you're totally onto something with there, and I think a lot of that has to go with immigration. And I think, me personally, from my understanding, is that this is not just an invasion of the country, but it's a war against the Christian faith of the United States itself, and how to shift everything out of that. We know this because of what happened through all the European countries, and now look at Europe. So I think that same thing that happened in Europe over time is now happening here in the United States, but I don't think that's going to happen. And I think the reason why that won't happen is because when you have Trump that comes back and says mass deportation, well, there goes that vacuum, and now everyone's back home.
Really hope we get mass deportation. That would be the best thing we can do. If you want to say it's not, I'm sorry. It's like, hey, if your mom showed up at my house drunk, right, and she was being obnoxious and wanted to stay for like a month or something, wouldn't you just take her home?
Yeah. Just comes and starts wearing your boxers, starts sleeping in your bed, starts eating your food.
Because this is look, they decided that they want to come here, and I get it. My wife is from Venezuela, guys. I'm just gonna tell you, I have a Venezuelan wife that came here legally, and got in the country. I went through immigration with her. I got interrogated by the immigration officer, trying to see if we were actually gonna really get married for real. They almost denied us twice on 2 different interviews, so they didn't make it easy for us. So those that come here illegally, okay, you got here, but it's like, you get what I'm saying. You're not gonna let like your drunk neighbor come over and hang out with you you're gonna ask her to politely go back home, or anybody else coming in your house that's a stranger. You know, this is what we're having as far as immigration coming in here. Hey,
Yep.
I got no problem with immigration. Come in legally. Come into the
Exactly.
country legally. Do the
I seen a
paperwork.
video.
Go through the proper procedure so that you don't put a burden on a country that's trying to, you know, better
Yeah.
lives like for immigrants that do come to the country on a legal basis. You know,
Yeah.
people
I've seen a
stick with their
Real quick.
brain and be more
Real
civilized.
quick. I
And
seen a
Real
video.
quick. Go ahead, Ellie.
I've seen a video. Mexicans are continuing to build a wall, and somebody's telling them, "What are you doing? Trump will be back. He'll pay for it." He
I
said,
saw that.
"Nah, we're paying for it. We're building it so they don't come back."
Yeah, for our side. Yep.
I heard that.
I saw
Yep.
that.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so,
yeah, the
so real
I didn't see
quick,
that video.
real quick.
Go ahead.
DJT said straight up, and Nerdy said it, mentioned it. I think he mentioned it. I don't know if he mentioned it like I'm going to say it, but he said it's going to be bigger than ever, basically. And there's history of the deportation stuff back in the day. I'm not going to say the name of what it was called, operation, but you know what I mean. It's kind of hardcore, but no, he said it's going to be bigger than in the past. Okay, and I do believe that they know where everyone is for the most part, right? And they will be able to track them. They've probably been tracking where they've been sending them. They've been tracking the buses, the planes. I'm telling you guys, we have surveillance going on both sides, guys, good guys and bad guys. Matter of fact, I have this, or I hadn't spotted it in a few days, but there's been this mysterious plane that's been flying over my neighborhood, unmarked, with no lights at nighttime, scanning the skies, basically probably using Stingray, which basically sweeps all of your media devices and takes all of the info that's out. It's in it, whether it's text messages, calls, or whatever. If you guys haven't heard of Stingray, the law enforcement's been using it. So I believe that it could be a good guy, right? It could be the good guys, but it also could be the bad guys. But I think both sides are using surveillance. And I would have to think that the bad guys have less abilities than the good guys, because the good guys are controlling the main parts of our military. And the bad guys have to use balloons and fucking, planes that are unmarked and with the lights out, maybe, you know what I mean? Or have to steal a jet, right? And say it crashed or whatever it is, right? Like, so anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think so. What you're saying about the white hats and stuff like that, could that be? This is just a thought. Could it be that's the reason why they're trying to give immigrants IDs so they know who to go and where to go and how to remove them?
Dude, see, that's the thing, Nerdy. Our minds have to think deeper and bigger than what we're seeing and hearing, right? Like, because if it's 5D chess, you're completely right, bro. Like, you never know what side's doing what, right? Because both sides use misinformation and disinformation. I'd say the other side uses disinformation more, but the good guys use misinformation too, meaning to mislead the other side while making you think something's going on, but it's to mislead the other side, right? Because they got maybe an operation going on or whatever.
Yeah.
Wait, did you have something for us, bro? Did you have something? He's saying we're in the storm. I'm thinking, I guess those storm clouds.
Look to the sky.
Right. And, it's funny you said that, because I have been hearing that from a lot of psychics, tarot readers, and even prophet type people saying to look to the sky, that God's been saying, look to the sky, that Spirit's saying, look to the sky, that the spirit guides are saying, look to the sky. Because a lot of the tarot people I watch, they talk about their spirit guides, right? And so every one of them is saying, look to the sky, because that is part of what supposedly is coming. And it's supposedly called a luminosity event. Oh, there's the WebBot data that Cliff High's been picking up, the new stuff. And so the new stuff's been talking about this luminosity event. And I kind of think of it as the blue man, which would be like a plasma event in the sky. But supposedly it's supposed to be man-made. I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but I guess we're just going to wait and see, guys. Like, and then this October 4th thing, I don't know if that's a scare tactic or if that's real, but I do believe it possibly could be real, where it's a frequency, right? And it can affect certain people. Like, what happened in that concert. That one concert where all those people died, right? When the freaking bass and everything came on real loud. So I don't know. Travis Scott, I think.
Yeah,
so
Travis Scott. Yeah.
Is that going to happen? I don't know. But go ahead, guys. What do you think?
Wow, because of the nanos.
Yes.
No,
well,
but
no, the graphene.
There was literally a portal, and like he literally summoned some kind of demonic being within the crowd.
Whoa.
Do they have video evidence of that?
Yeah, they have
it?
videos of some spirit jumping through the crowd.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Nope.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I did not know about that part. But like when you start hearing all these really smart people and showing you evidence, like showing you a 5G phone off, and then next is a blob of the, I'd call it the black goo, right? And then they turn the fucking phone on, the 5G phone, and the black goo starts dancing. Come on, man. If that's inside you, that's going to destroy like organs and shit. And maybe even disrupt your blood, right? Stop your blood.
What is graphene oxide? It's carbon, right? Six squared is what? The cube? The black cube? Black cube of what? Black cube of maybe?
Saturn. And then they walk around that cube in Saudi Arabia, the black cube, like, and there's a cube in freaking Israel that supposedly, there's a cube I heard in Washington. There's a black cube in Washington. Did you guys hear about that? There's a room somewhere in Washington, D.C. where there's a black cube that they go and homage to that motherfucker.
The stone in Saudi Arabia, apparently it's floating.
It's the Tesseract.
There's something floating. There is some phenomenal gravitational anomalies all over the planet. I mean, there is one like in like Tennessee or something like that where
check out these clouds.
Things can not necessarily levitate, but it's like low gravity.
We can't see you, Wayside.
Are you talking to us, Wayside?
Yeah, you guys cannot even see my camera, yeah?
You don't have it turned on. No, it's a blank avatar. What it would be an avatar. There you go. Okay, go ahead.
We saw the sky.
Yeah, did you guys? Everybody saw it?
Yes.
Right on. Because
what about it? Go ahead. What about it?
No, it's all manufactured clouds.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Hey, but it doesn't look like Etch and Sketch. I'm telling you, I've had Etch and Sketch over my house in our area.
Oh, yeah.
It hasn't been like that lately, but I saw him also doing. I talked about this the last stream where I got sick right after probably a couple 2-3 days after I saw at nighttime there were freaking lines in the sky hidden within the clouds, and then the moon cut through. And you could see that they were doing trails in the sky at night.
Yeah, that's exactly what I seen in the middle of the night, maybe 3 in the morning kind of deal.
Right, because they're trying to hide it. They're trying to hide it now.
Yeah, and
they're trying to hide it.
It's clear as day, and all you can see is just streaks in the sky.
I don't know. I feel fantastic. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm 51 years old. Everything's fantastic. Just waiting for this portfolio to skyrocket.
Hey, real quick. Hey, real quick. Lower level says only black goo I have is resin. I'm a bull.
Right
I'm a bull.
One thing people always don't consider is the fact that aluminum is not magnetic. And if we're magnets and you're putting aluminum within our system, then we basically are disconnecting from source.
Oh, interesting. And the other thing I heard about that is that if it gets past the brain barrier, right? That and that's what causes. It's part of what causes Alzheimer's.
Correct.
Is the aluminum in the deodorant? Like, so I remember when I was married, one of the big things is that my black shirts would be sparkly, and I remember because I would sweat a lot, right? My girl would be like, "You got to find some deodorant that works," right? And I'd use Degree or whatever. And then I would have these black freaking, like, it looked like metal flake because it's what it was. It was metals, guys. Like, and I was painting cars. I was painting cars, and I'm like, this is fucking metal flake. But I wasn't putting 2 and 2 together that they had aluminum in the deodorant, right? Like, and when you figure this shit out, you're like, holy shit. So I've cut all that stuff out, guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's so sad though that this is happening. And I guess it's just part of our experience, man, right now. Like,
Hey,
It's-
Can't
you have
be
to go through it.
penetrated by anything.
real quick.
I got God on my side.
Me
Yes,
too.
yes, I agree. Go ahead, Alan.
Real quick. So Rain, metal's pretty heavy, right? So
Mhm.
it doesn't really travel through the body like we think it does. What it
Mhm.
does is Epstein-Barr virus is a virus that we naturally have in our body, and it's mutated about
you gotta do
16
tomorrow.
times since the Industrial Revolution.
But you got to deliver.
So what happens is this Epstein-Barr eats metal. It eats heavy metals, and it also gets up into the pineal gland and calcifies the pineal gland, eats this heavy metal and other proteins, and poops out a toxic heavy metal in your brain, and that's what causes mainly Alzheimer's and brain fog and neurological problems. Hashimoto's, rheumatoid arthritis, major skin blotches, like major autoimmune disorders, because it starts in the liver and then just spreads throughout the body.
Yeah, so the
And it usually
frequency
attacks
machine,
you.
this frequency machine I have, the one that will do 2 different frequency styles, it actually has, and I have a book, right, that has the frequencies in it, and it has all of those things you just rambled off are all in that book. They all have a frequency. Okay, so that's the big
Nice.
key is when you figure out the frequency, just like with my body tuning fork kit that came handmade from India. I'm gonna tell you what, the Indian people created a lot of amazing things, man, in the past, and they're creating these freaking tuning forks, right? And that's frequency, right? So the tuning fork set I have was actually created by a doctor who figured out the proper frequency, like a proper party. It's the proper frequency or the healthy frequency of an organ, and then you match it, and it's called what is it? Sympathetic resonance. So what happens is you bing, you hit the tuning fork, which I could go grab some. You hit the tuning fork, and so that tune that it's putting out will resonate because that's the pure tone of that organ, whether it's the kidneys or whatever it is. It could be the adrenals, whatever. I have that one too. You got the lungs. It will resonate with it. It will have sympathetic. It'll be a sympathetic resonance, and then it will actually allow the body to get that frequency going, and then you will start to heal. And I imagine you have to use it, probably multiple times, but I've used it with my dog. I've used it with myself. I've actually seen results. It's been
You
mind
see
blowing.
results on your back or your neck or anything with pain, Rain?
So-
Has that worked? For that?
You could do that. I mean, we'd have to get into it some other time, but
It
I don't want to
works.
claim anything right now, right? I don't want to get us in trouble.
no
whatever,
worries.
whatever.
I want
but
to add on
anyway,
that.
go ahead.
Hey, I gotta go, so I
right,
want
yeah,
to
real
say
quick,
bye to
real quick.
everybody. I don't mean to. It's 11 o'clock and I gotta work tomorrow, but God
sure.
willing, not for much longer, everybody.
Oh, real quick, Alan. Real quick.
Have a good night,
have you
everybody.
noticed in Tibet that they have the
Right on,
big bells
Father Adler.
that people used to stand inside and used to ring them and they actually cure people? So
Right. It's all frequency. Yeah. Hey, Alan, have a good time, buddy. Oh,
later, Alan.
well, yeah. Shout out to Alan. Thanks for coming on, bro. Yeah, I know. I can't even talk to him anymore. Well, maybe he's still in here, but yeah. And then here, hold on a second, real quick. We got Crypto Camper says singing bowls. Yes, I have one. I have one right now. Here, hold on. I don't know if it'll come through. I remember I was trying to have it come through on the boardroom. Let me see if it'll come through real quick. My camera was messing up earlier, but I have a lot of stuff, man. I think I'll do a quick little show and tell of everything. You guys hear that? That's a 432 hertz. You go. Now it's not going to work as good because you have to have there's this rubber piece. So you put this underneath it, and then you put it on a flat surface. It works amazing. But anyways, this is 432 hertz. In a C, I think it's C tuning. So you could literally have a whole. You've probably seen it before, where you have a whole array of them. It's basically all the different tunings. You get all the different frequencies. You make music with it. But yes, so go ahead. Go ahead, real quick. I'm gonna grab
Sound
something
bath.
real quick. I'm gonna grab something real quick. Yeah, sound bath. Exactly.
Yeah, this is gonna be exciting.
Yep, super exciting.
Check it out. Check it out. Real quick. All right, so.
Get out of here, AT.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, is that a coffee mug?
This guy.
All right, so this is from India, right? So this is my little magic set. All right, so this is a very beautiful set
Mhm.
of tuning forks, right?
Mhm.
And you know, for me, I'm a musician, so like when I saw them all, you know, this is what happened is I started learning about the frequency stuff, and and it hit me. I'm all, holy shit, I'm a musician. I saw this professor. I first saw this professor talking about it, right? And he was saying, yeah, you know, we did studies. We even went to a clinic or like this lab or whatever. He said it's totally provable. This was in like 2011, guys. And he proved in labs that with sound waves, they can destroy cancer without destroying the organs around it, right?
Mhm.
And you know, that,
sound.
and they were
Yeah.
and they were proving it in 2011, 2010. But I'm watching this going, holy
Yep.
shit, I'm just now realizing this stuff, right? And no one's talking about it, right?
Yep.
So this one here is for the bones. So let's see here. See if you guys will be able to hear it.
440.
All right, so yeah,
Wow.
so they're different frequencies, right? So you have that one, which is actually a small one, and then you have one like this. Look at how much bigger this one is, and this is what is this? I can't even read it. I can't even. Oh, wait, is that the frequency side? Yeah, I didn't even know what this is. Pancreas, dude. This is a pancreas. So this frequency in this tuning fork is the harmonic frequency of a healthy pancreas. And what's really wild is when I first started using these, I used it on my dog, right? And what's funny is they say the pets are the best patients, right? At first, because a lot of times they'll allow you to do things. They'll just lay down. But if Louis, if he gets riled up, if I do it too loud, he'll get riled up, start barking. But what happened is I had the bladder one, and I think I don't know if he was having bladder problems. I think I was going through the whole shebang, right? And I got to the bladder one, and this is the other thing I learned, is that you will hear it if something's out of tune. This is crazy, guys. The bladder was out of tune. So when I went bing, you could hear it go out of tune. And then once you passed it over a couple of times over it, it started to tune. And then you could hear the ring, the resonance of the tuning fork balance out to the perfect tone. And that's when I was like, bing, bing, bing. Holy shit, Batman. This is real, right? Holy shit, Batman. Back to the Batcave. We are onto something here. Right? Sean T.
Sean T. What's up, brother?
Is that Sean? What's up, Sean?
Yeah,
What's
Sean.
going on?
Hey, Sean. What's up, Sean?
Yeah, I've been
Hey, Sean. It's Sean. What's up?
Hey, Sean, it's Sean.
It's Seanception.
No, I've had people at the house and they just started clearing out. So I just want to chime in for a couple minutes before I go back to listening mode.
Real quick.
The floor is yours.
Great show, dude. You guys covered everything tonight. Now
Rain came out with his special. He's like, folks, I thought he was going to start torturing someone.
Yeah, so real
West for the mafia.
I got a question for you guys. Are you guys monitoring the Steven Narioff stuff? with
Who's
John
been
Deacon?
Who's been holding down XRP? No, give me the answers. I'm sorry.
What? Put the finger into the fork.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your
Hey,
seed
Sean.
phrase?
Hey,
What's your seed phrase?
yeah, what's your seed phrase? Yes. Hey, Sean T, I think he's actually talking about something that he tried to get us talking about 2 weeks ago or a week ago on the show. And is it the guy that is exposing Ethereum?
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago because last week I couldn't participate.
Do it, Sean.
And it's going to a head. This guy Steven Narioff. Okay, I don't know if you guys remember if you watched any of the YouTube videos and the little video clips that DAI put out. One of the guys was in a video and he was saying, "Hey, my job at the Ethereum Foundation or with the Ethereum guys was to how can we do this crowd sale without people going to prison?" This is Steven Narioff. And he did his thing, and then he says that when Bill Hemmon gave the speech in 2018, it tracked very well, and I quote, it tracked very well with my memo. And so that's where he got, his deal on. And then fast forward, I want to say it was either this year or late 2022, he got arrested by the FBI, and they tried to put charges on him and gave him a list of names and said, you need to give us dirt on all these people. And it was a whole bunch of people, and a lot of them were journalists, and one of them was Caitlin Long. And Deaton interviewed Caitlin Long earlier this week on his show. And Stephen Narioff is like, I've got the map, meaning he's got all the details. And today's John Deaton show, he said, listen, I've seen some of the receipts. It's under attorney-client privilege, so I can't talk a lot about it on the privilege. But there's a lot more to come. And if it's what I think it is, it will expose the whole cabal between Joseph Lubin, Vitalik Buterin's dad, which was named in a tweet, and the Ethereum Foundation and JP Morgan Chase.
Yeah, his dad was wanting more money. What the fuck, dude? Yeah.
Yeah, dude is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it really is. Sean, it's good you brought that up because it is mind-blowing how deep that fucking hole goes, right? And it's funny because we knew something was rotten. We knew it stunk from high heaven. But man, when you realize how deep it goes, it's mind-blowing, man. It was a conspiracy from the fucking get when that piece of shit fucking Vitalik slept on the damn couch of whoever's couch at Ripple or whatever and stole their ideas, right? And was so like he's literally a deep state stooge from the get, man. Because he's unscrupulous, right? When you're unscrupulous,
he slept on Stephen Thomas's couch back in 2015, and he stole the concept of smart contracts, which was the original plan for Codius. So all this stuff that we've been living through, I've been around since early 2018. Some of you guys have been around since 2015. At Ripple, the company, and XRP, the token, should be where Ethereum is now at $1,600. That's where it should be. But it was a whole cabal, and even Joseph Lubin himself has said on video that JP Morgan Chase was there before the mainnet launch. And Ethereum launched in 2015. So this will have to go back to 2013, 2014. That's how long this game's been going on, and it is a game.
You know what's
it's crazy.
Is that
we're gonna have
JP Morgan
take over.
Isn't it funny how JP Morgan all of a sudden flipped their narrative on Ethereum and now is saying that, oh, it didn't work out for us and they're supposed to develop their JPM coin on it, and now they're jumping ship all of a sudden?
I'm going to listen for a minute. Give me 5 minutes.
Well,
Give me 3
I'll
minutes.
tell you what, like, it was proven, and I am a example of it through fucking being feed to death for gas fees, right? That when all the NFTs or one fucking Pepe coin or whatever is launched, the whole thing comes to a screeching halt, and the fees go through the freaking roof, right? It's really no better than a Bitcoin, except that you could do smart contracts with it. It is very inefficient. It's just that, and it don't matter, right? In a lot of ways, because it bought its way, or they bought their way, or bribed, or whatever. They got their way in there because they're a snake, right? And what I'm thinking, if what Sean's saying about JP Morgan, or was that you, Nerdy, was saying that about JP Morgan, the coin? Yeah. Basically, they're realizing that this thing could come to a screeching halt over one fucking meme coin. So why would you want that, right? You may invest in it as an investment, right? You're going to hold maybe a little bit of it. Because it probably won't go away like Bitcoin, but
they said the upgrade was crap. The upgrade, the last up, and then they
it's a failure. Shanghai, right? Shanghai.
They're talking about the staking, that there's 20-30% of it staked, and they're going to do another upgrade because it's getting close. There might be 100% of Ethereum staked. So they're going to do. Developers are scrambling to do another upgrade for that not to happen.
Wasn't Vitalik? Didn't he get hired to work on someone else's project overseas somewhere, and then he stole that?
You know, I don't know, but I do know that he was an intern with Ripple, and that's where the whole thievery thing to me comes from, because he was like a spy, right? He was a spy within that group that at the time was part of the deep state system.
Yeah,
Ripple was part of the deep
Ron
state
was also
system.
working for Ripple as well.
What's that? I'm
Wang
sorry.
Yang Zhang in China.
Was that where it was?
So he was in Wang Zhang stealing shit there too.
Yeah, I think that's where he got contracted to, and he was helping a team, and then basically he just stole the code and he left. And
Dude, he's a creep. He's a fucking creep. He's so weird, man. Like you could tell by the way he acts and the things he does, how he dresses sometimes at these fucking meetups, and he's out there, guy.
We need a fair system. We need a fast, efficient way to move funds around the world.
Real quick. He was taking stuff to Wang Zhang, China. The stuff he was stealing. See, the whole plan was to give Ethereum the free pass. And you got to remember, Jay Clayton and Bill Hinman, they helped Alibaba go public in years previous. So the whole play was to enrich China, and that's how they were going to make the biggest payday. It had, I think that Bill Hinman and Jay Clayton, they weren't necessarily worried about which country was going to run it. They were just worried about how much money they were going to make. So Jay Clayton and Bill Hinman are the linchpin of this whole argument. And Gary Gensler is just a placeholder because he's beholden to JP Morgan and BlackRock. He's beholden to, and Ripple was getting in the way because they had a more transparent system or blockchain, and it was cheaper, faster, and more secure. Well, not necessarily more secure. It was cheaper, faster, and more efficient. And that's why MoneyGram did the Ripple deal, but then they had to back off when the SEC sued Ripple. Do you guys remember the video of Gary Gensler before he was the SEC interviewing, oh God, what's the guy, the tall guy with the dark hair? And he was like, so what do you see, JP Morgan doing that's better, faster, or somebody else comes in? He's like, I can just hear the bankers screaming. That video. Tim Draper. That was the impetus because Draper, what he did was he explained exactly how this was going to go down because he already knew it. And he's a VC guy, big, billionaire, whatever. He knew what was going to happen, and that's why that video keeps getting replayed over and over and over again. So the game plan hasn't changed, or the playbook hasn't changed. It's just that does all the truth come out before they get a chance to lock in the dirty deeds, or does everything come out before? And I think we're in a situation where, if you guys have read about the Creature from Jekyll Island and the Federal Reserve, imagine the same thing happening 100 years later. The only difference is that because of social media and the internet, there's a lot of people that have come together in a community that said, hell no, we're not doing this. And that's going to give them the biggest hiccup, which means that if it doesn't go down now, they're still going to try to do it again, maybe 10 years from now.
Legendary. Yeah.
Yeah. I sure as hell would have never let that goofy ass Vitalik crash on my couch. Legendary.
No way. He's about as goofy as they ever come. He's probably a smart dude. He's smart.
I don't care how smart he is, man. He's not trustable,
smart enough to
right?
steal the idea.
No, he's smart with computer code. He's not smart with the real life.
Well, you see, there was who was it? Oh man, I forget the guy's name. Was it Mickle? I think it was Mickle. He basically was putting together all the puzzles of the pieces of who created Bitcoin, right? And he did it in such a good way. I think I took a picture of the name of the video. I was going to show it tonight because it was so spot on. And I remember calling some of this stuff, right? Talking about the SHA 256 when no one was really talking about it. And the reason why I knew is because I'd been, I was mining Bitcoin in the early days. So I knew about SHA 256. And a lot of people wouldn't talk about it, but he he was part of that, right? And he was just showing how he created it, and it makes sense that he would go on, right, knowing the down, and he admitted it before, right? Yeah, you're like only like, oh, I was a developer on it, right? And we knew the downfalls, and he wasn't claiming that he was the one that did it, but he was like, yeah, we figured out the downfalls, and then obviously he moved to XRP. And what Mikkel was saying that made a lot of sense is that he's done XRP, and then it was Ripple, but he hasn't moved from it, right? He's stuck with it. He didn't stick with Bitcoin. He's stuck with this. So it makes sense that this is the one, and he's not moving on to other things. Obviously, he did say a while back, I forget how long ago it was, but he said, this is taking 1.5 years longer than we thought. Now, he said that, I think, before the pause. So that, and I remember, or it was before the pause, right? So it was in 2020, I want to say. So I was like, okay, so he said 1.5 years. So we probably got, maybe it's 1.5 years, right? And then you do the math and you're able to kind of project out maybe when it would be, but he didn't see the pause coming, which we're in the pause right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Meaning that everything that they were working on in the White House in 2020 and before has been paused, but things are being worked on in the background. But it makes sense because he actually said that, guys. He said, yeah, this is taking 1.5 years longer than we thought because he wanted to move on to PolySign and other things. So I don't know. It's just, there's so much. I'm telling you guys, I can't wait to see the movie of all this shit because it's going to be epic if someone was able to document everything we're talking about, right?
Yeah. I think the main thing here is that just the same way how Ripple, Quant, and everything else is connected, Tron, Tether, Ethereum, and Bitcoin are all connected. That's all one unit.
Yeah, that's funny, man. You have like the dark side stuff, right? And then you have the good side, right? And even though, and this is a funny thing. So for people that go, oh no, I don't like Ripple, it's a banker's coin, right? That's what I heard originally in 2017 when I was going to try to buy it. Oh, a lot of people don't like it. It's a banker's coin. But guess what? It's going to be huge because all the banks are going to use it. So you're going to want a bunch of it, right? So I was like, oh, wow. Okay. And it's like, even though it may have been a banker coin, that doesn't mean it's necessarily bad, right? And then you have Bitcoin, even though it was created maybe by bad people, but, maybe Schwartz wasn't probably bad. He didn't know. It was being used for their things, right? And so it's like, if you listen to Woo Woo Dude will say straight up, Spirit bitch slapped me one night and told me, don't worry about Ripple being a banker coin, go buy some XRP. So then he tells Jason F.N.W.R, who was totally against XRP, right? He was into Bitcoin and Litecoin and stuff, and what was the other one? Theta. And he's like, dude, woo, dude. And I'm watching him, right? Because I'm like, why don't you ever talk about XRP? Why do you hate XRP, Jason F.N.W.R? Watching him for years, right? And he goes, dude, woo, dude just told me Spirit bitch slapped him and said, buy some damn XRP, right? And was giving prices, and it was nuts, man. So you're right. There's sides, right? But at the end of the day, they could all be used for good or bad, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. And then like the connection here goes a lot deeper than what people realize. Like, we have China, we have Ethereum, we have the Bidens, we have China, we have all the corruption, we have China. Like, we have BlackRock, we have Blackstone, we have China.
We have China.
Like it's and what does Trump keep saying? China. Like, come on, guys. He's telling us.
Right.
He's literally
exactly.
But yeah.
No, you're right though too.
And one thing about the banker coin, bro, one thing that blew my mind was like, you tell people, and they're saying, it's a banker coin. So you're telling me that you don't like money? Is that what you're saying right now? If someone is telling you that something is guaranteed going to be worth something and you don't want it, but you rather invest into a speculative asset that you don't know where it's going to go and nobody wants it, but you rather invest your money in there versus investing your money in something that you're not going to use for sure. You do that, bro.
Give me that.
Makes no sense.
Coin. Give me all the banker's coin.
Give me all that.
Right. Yeah, so it's funny. We had already. So think about it. I had been watching Jason F.N.W.R since 2018. That's when I stumbled onto Q and all that, right? So it was
Yeah.
through him that I started learning about the drops and how to decode them. I found out about Q through CKJ's stream. Someone in the chat, hey, did you see what Q said? And for a while, I'm like, what the hell? Because there was all these riddlers and all that. So that's how I found it. That's how I found Jason at 4. And back then, like I said, he was a Bitcoin, Litecoin, Maxi, Theta. He learned about from White Dove. She passed away, but she was a person that could see things, right? And she was a psychic, and she found out about Theta. He found out about Theta through a friend, and everyone was saying he was a scammer. And he's telling everyone Theta's going to be huge. And guess what? It ended up fucking making people millionaires. And he ended up buying paying his house off, paying his freaking mom's house off, paying his freaking mother-in-law's house off through fucking Theta and Theta Fuel, because he said he got like 500,000 Theta Fuel just given to him, right? Airdrop, because he was an original Theta holder, right? So then when years later, Woo dude comes along and starts to train him to be a shaman, and then tells him about XRP. It was blowing my mind, guys. Like, so it was like all the stuff was coming together, and that's when I was realizing that there's more to what we're into than we realize, and that if you don't open your mind to it, you won't see it. That it is literally being channeled from everything into one focused consciousness on this is going to happen, right? Yeah. It's just that the goalpost keeps getting moved forward, and that's why David Schwartz said, this has gone on a year and a half longer than we thought, right? Because he thought that they made deals with DJT in the White House, which they did. So they had a timeline which got derailed, and him and Garland House were in Antarctica when the deals went down to hand over the keys to the system. Guess what the keys are? They're codes. And so what happened is, after that November meeting in Antarctica, can't even talk, basically they went back on their deal. The dark side went back on their deal. So then the timeline got stretched out. And that's why I've been saying lately, no dates, only events.
Yeah.
Right? Because
drop the link real quick for Sean.
What's that?
Drop the link for Sean real quick.
Oh, is he coming back? I thought he was gone.
No, drop the link.
All right, hold on.
But yeah, you're right though.
Thank you for making me keep on top of shit. I get on a fucking rain rant, and it's over. It's on, dog. It's on.
The rain rants.
Rain rants here.
Let it rain.
But yeah, you're right though. Then that's what I kept saying from the get-go. It's a series of events. Forget about no stupid date. It's a series of events. And that's exactly what the post said, that red line 1, red line 2, red line 3, red line 4. It's a series of events. Nobody said any dates ever. Nobody ever said any kind of dates. People who only said dates were like some random person trying to get views or trying to get likes or trying to get some kind of publicity. Oh, hey, 3-6 this, 3-6 that. Some stupid bullshit when it has nothing to do with anything, right? But it's like, no, it's a series of events, bro. Like, chill, relax. Just while some things are going to happen, it's already inevitable. Just sit back, keep stacking your bags. Whenever it happens, it happens. But the whole date bullshit, bro, come on now. This is why all of them have been wrong.
No. Hey,
no
and you make
that's the point.
You're making a good point. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because I used to do the dates, and I've learned from those years of streaming, right? And I've learned so much more. My eyes have been opened so much more. I've had awakenings upon awakenings upon awakenings. 2020 was a huge awakening when that happened. So
yeah,
it's so crazy, because what you find out is you're absolutely right that when you put dates out, you give people hope, right? And you keep doing that, and then guess what? They start going, you know what? Screw you, dude. Screw that guy. Screw that guy. Screw this and screw that, right? Because they get disappointed. So you want to just put out info, let people think about it, look into it. I was bringing shit to the table that was so mind-blowing, I was scared to talk about sometimes, right? And then when you find out that you're being watched and you're being shadow banned and you're being watched at the high levels from both sides, and I was like, what? And even Sean said it. Sean was like, hell no, Rain ain't that big. He ain't that popular. And it's like, no, it was my message, man. And they knew that if I fucking took off and I fucking soared to the top and had thousands and thousands of viewers and subs, that I would have got the word out. And that could have been either good or bad, as far as the good side and the bad side, meaning that I was bringing shit out too damn early, guys. I was
Hey,
5
hey.
and 6 years ahead of the fucking timeline.
Real
So
quick, real
that's
quick.
the
Just to
crazy
clarify-
part.
And just
Rain.
hold on, Sean. And just to clarify, when I said November this and October that, I'm literally going based off a cosmic chart which all the elites follow. That's the only reason why I said those things. Just to clarify, just in case someone says, Sean, give me a date. Blah, blah, blah. Well, there you go.
But what happens is those events can be changed, right? Like I said, good or bad, right? So if the event is changed, that's why I'm saying, like, if you're listening to Rain here every Friday night and he's throwing shit out there that's way ahead of the curve and you're believing it, you're a believer, right?
Yeah.
It's resonating with you because it's real. Doesn't mean that it happened yet. You're making it happen and it might be too soon. Okay, manifest it too soon, then they weren't ready. So sometimes I wonder, was I taken down by the good guys? I don't know.
No.
I don't fucking know.
Rain got rustled before Russell got rustled, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Exactly.
dude.
So-
I'll tell you, like, sometimes I swear I was saying it this week. I'm not kidding you guys. Shit was getting so heavy. I was watching too much news. I was like fucking just like losing it a little bit. And I thought, you know what? It would be nice to not know shit and be a fucking
Ignorance
sleep.
is bliss.
Be asleep. And then I'm all no. And then I'm all no. This is the greatest time to be fucking alive.
Yeah.
It is.
If you guys go to Twitter and look up a guy named Mike Benz and go through his Twitter thread, he explains it very, very scientifically what's going on because he's a journalist. And you guys will get a serious kick out of that. But listen, guys, I gotta go because I gotta get up early. I just wanted to say shout out to Rain. Thanks for doing what you do. Nerdy. I can't see who's on the screen because my screen's too small, but everybody else on the panel and everybody that was here before, shout out to the chat. I appreciate all you guys. I got to get out. And looking forward to seeing you guys next Friday because I shouldn't have people at the house.
Nice.
Hey, Sean.
Night,
Wake
Sean.
up.
You're awesome, brother. You're awesome, man.
About the last time, brother.
No worries.
Well, you have a
What
good
happened?
brother.
What happened? What happened?
Got cut off a little bit early.
Australian economy. Australia to be functionally cashless by 2025.
Jeez.
Oh, really? Who's saying that, man? Who's saying that, E.T.?
Our news.
You can't see it.
Oh, wow.
Australia and Canada are on the same agenda. Australia, Canada, and New York. It seems
Okay,
like.
so this is the difference. And a lot of people don't get this. This is the huge difference. They want that. But the other side, remember, there's always another side. The other side wants cash still. And Nerdy fucking nailed it when he showed us those ATMs in India. And I also was talking about this 2019 probably, where and I do have some videos of me talking about cash and stuff. I was talking about the treasury notes. I think I said it in that stream I was showing earlier. I was talking about there'll be treasury notes. And I remember having a fight with fucking Sam I Am about that the Fed was absorbed into the treasury, and he was calling me a conspiracy theorist, and people were like, oh, you guys should debate. And I didn't want to debate him, right? Well, what happened, because I said it came from Q, right? And well, what happened is it came out as that it was true, and he was just, I didn't hear from him, man, at all, right? And it's like, I'm telling you guys, like, there's so much crazy shit that it's hard to know what's real, what's not real. And if you don't have that intuition strong enough to put it out there, which, yeah, I put some stuff out. I put dates out. If you look at that stream I showed earlier, I said that Ripple was going to blow up between 2020 and 2021, right? And because why? Because Schwartzy said we are behind by a year and a half. So then I was like feeling more comfortable to actually throw out, some kind of numbers, right? Like, and it didn't happen, right? Like, because it's not that it wasn't true, it's because the timeline was pushed forward. So it's just kind of fucking wild, dude.
You
Like-
will own nothing by
Rain,
Caroline.
I'm
A good book to summarize what threats we are facing. I mean, I'm not facing any threat. I don't listen to whatever the government says.
Get him,
And
ET.
I own myself, so that means I own everything.
Mhm.
It's like there's no threat. Unless you
Well-
allow it to be a threat. Unless you
Well-
allow it to be a threat. Unless
Right,
you
right, right,
comply.
right.
Like,
Well, okay,
Right
so
on, Ellie.
I did see,
I don't comply.
did see,
Don't tell me to wear a freaking mask. I used to wear a gas mask. I used to make fun of them. I'd walk past police officers with a gas mask into a shop. I didn't wear no fucking cloth. I said, this is what you need to wear if there's a deadly virus.
wear your face. Wear your face. Fucking Allie's getting pissed, man. He's tired of this shit. He doesn't mean any disrespect, Duber Dan.
Oh, there it is. There's the mask.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Yeah, that's what you need. You
That's
need
what I.
literally.
That's what I go into shopping centers and they go, "Oh, you're ready for war. You're really
Yeah.
prepared." I said, "Yeah." What are you
It's
wearing?
germ warfare, you son of a bitch. Like, so check it out. Check it out. You would have check it out. Check it out. You would have to wear a fresh air unit that is portable, like I used to use for painting, or one that you would plug into a compressor, right?
Yeah.
Well, the portable one was a hazmat level one, right? Or you would have to have a paint respirator with freaking big cartridges on it and a pre-filter and charcoal and fucking everything, right? And then pre-fitted to make sure that it fits right to stop a fucking virus. Like, so
Yeah.
I wore a fucking N95. I know about N95, motherfuckers. I know about them. Why? Because I wore them for a dust mask, and for buffing cars with fucking compound and
Yeah.
and the wool off the fucking thing, the bonnet to buff the car would make me allergies, right? Allergies and shit, right? I wore it. It sucked. But guess what? It was either that or fucking choked to death from the dust and everything else, right?
Yeah.
Was it keeping it all out? No. Then when it came to this wear a mask shit, I was like, hell, fuck no, man. So at one point I wore a gaiter. I wore a neck gaiter. That's as far as I went, man. And even that sometimes was hard to breathe.
Yeah.
But what was crazy is that we had the big fires. So I was having to walk my dog, and the air was so bad, guys. Fuck the damn V. The air was so bad from the fires. I was wearing my neck gaiter and thinking, I know this isn't really, it's not helping everything, but it's keeping some of that because there's particulates, right, in the air from the fires. So at that point, yeah, you probably want to wear something, but the fucking dude, people are idiots. I had a discussion I wish I didn't have in the store today with a checker at Target, and it was basically she wanted to bag my groceries, right? And I'm all no, I have my own bags. She's like, no. I'm all no, I don't need any of those. I have my own bags. She's like, no. Oh, bring them over here, and I'll bag them for you. I'm all, what are you talking about? I'm all, that's the first time that's happened. Everyone doesn't want to touch my bags. They will only bag my stuff if I buy one of these bags, right? She's like, no, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And the next thing you know, we're talking about 2020 because I brought it up. I'm all, well, it's because of 2020. What happened? Next thing you know, she's getting upset because her mom passed away then, supposedly of the vid. And now she's getting mad at me because I just said that, right? Like, anyways, I don't know how I got into all that, but I don't think it's going to work this time, guys. Like, so when you see the movie and it sucks, right? 2020 sucked in a lot of ways. There was always good. There's always good comes out of bad things, right? That's how you have to think, right? But the movie sucked the first time. Guess what? The movie's going to suck even worse this time. And more people are awake and more people are like going to go, fuck this movie. And they're not going to attend it.
Exactly.
Okay. Because if you give the devil the right to come in your house, like Dracula, you have to invite him in, right?
Yeah, you have to.
And that's
Yeah.
on you. You give consent. Don't give consent.
No
right?
consent. Do not.
All you have to do is say no.
Mhm.
No.
They can't force you. No.
Oh, come on, dude. Everyone's doing it, man. Come on. It's the new drug, bro. And then guess what? I go, no. I don't want none. You're a pussy. You're a pussy because you don't want to do this new drug with us. No, I fuck your fucking crack. It's crack. I was all, fuck your crack.
Everybody's eating a plate of dog shit. Am I going to do it? No, fuck off.
What is that? Mass psychosis?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm just throwing shit out there, guys. I'm giving descriptions. That's all.
I just like to be different. Everybody's doing it. I don't want to fucking do it.
Right. So yeah, the peer pressure, they tried. Believe me, guys, I had a lot of peer pressure. I had it coming from ex-girlfriends, ex, and a lot of things, friends, right? Like people in general, like peer pressuring me to wear a fucking diaper or to get out wiki. And, it's like, no, fuck you. Like,
fuck off, mate.
Hey, do you
see
guys
what my
remember?
hat says? You see that? Rebel.
Same.
Fucking yell, mother
Do you guys-
truckers.
Do you guys
Same.
remember Y2K? You guys remember Y2K and everyone was
Yep.
and everyone had this anthrax thing and everyone was buying freaking. They're saying, "Oh, the 2000, the grid's gonna collapse. We're gonna have a cyber attack," and everyone's buying water and food and shit, and nothing happened. It's the same
Right.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah. The Y2K thing was a trip, man. Like,
That was hilarious,
like a,
bro.
like a lot of
look
things.
what happened a year later.
Right. Right. Maybe it was a distraction.
Yeah, but
you
that
know
was
what I mean?
man-made.
It was.
That
That's
was
exactly what it was.
It was a distraction to go, hey, you don't see what we're really setting up and what we're
Yeah.
gonna freaking do, and you're not gonna even have a clue, right? Like,
Well,
Yeah, but like you
They were
said,
gonna-
fuck that devils.
I will always
Hell
say
yeah.
they're gonna force vaccinate. Well, they better come to the fucking door. I've got a fucking screwdriver waiting to go into that bloke's fucking neck. There's no way you're gonna force vaccinate.
all right,
me.
let's watch the certain words. Yeah, we don't want to get banned again, but yeah, I get it. I get the frustration. I get the I'm fed up, right? Basically, kind of thing, and that's what I'm saying. The fight has come back, not for everyone. Like, because the lady I was going that kind of chewed on my neck a little bit today. She was buying and drinking the Kool-Aid like there's no tomorrow. She believed it all, right? I could tell by the way she was treating me and how she acted when I brought up 2020. So, there's some people that will wake up and get it and say no, and there's a lot of them that won't. So, what's going to happen is going to happen, but we can only try to warn people. And I don't try to wake anyone up anymore. I'm not on here trying to wake anyone up. I'm just trying to bring information, and obviously I'm trying to keep my channel. But
I'm waiting for the portfolio to grow. That's all I'm waiting for. And like Bagman says, ghost, I'm gone.
Yeah. Well, okay. So like you're getting upset, right? We're getting upset. We're at the breaking point, right? Bagman's new song, right? Dude, breaking point. It's perfect, dude. His songs, he's hitting the moment where, like, I have to say this right now because time's flying so fast. Because I haven't been writing any new music, but Bagman is literally he's what is it? Chronicling history, right? Like he's literally putting these songs out that are hitting the history. So we'll be able to hear these songs and be able to have a vision of it'll almost be like a documentary in a way, his songs, his songs and videos alone. Because Bagman's hit some killer freaking like zingers, dude.
Yeah.
Like out of the park where one-liners, and Crypto Tales, some of the one-liners these guys are coming up with that are so catchy, with the XRP, or whether they're talking about Gary the Clown Gensler or whatever it is, Clarity, Breaking Point, my money don't fold. It's what was it? My money don't fold. It's digital. Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Well,
Like,
in the end, we have to know that we're going to be all right, as long as we look after ourselves and think with our own head. Look at the situation, work it out, and say, "Hey, what is this really good for me?" If it is, go ahead, but think about it yourself. I always do what I want to do. I'm 51 years old and I've made it this far. Nothing's wrong with me. I have a father. My mother passed away. I have a father and he's 75, strong as a bull. And I keep moving the post with him. It's like November 21. It's going to happen, Dad. April 22, Dad. Hey, this is the moment. Nothing happens. He's like September. So we joke around. Now I'm up to September. I said, Dad, this month is going to happen. Then I told him yesterday, November, Dad, November.
November, Dad, it's the time to remember. November.
It's just have patience and wait.
Yeah, but you're not really leading them on. You're giving them hope in yourself. Right?
He knows that I know what's going on.
Without hope, it's not hopium. It's hope. Without hope, then I wouldn't be able to cope.
Oh, this is
I'd
all
be on
going
dope. I'd be hooked on dope. I wouldn't cope if they had no hope.
True. But it's all
That's
a short
not
thing.
just another
You just
trope.
have to get to the timelines, as you say. You just have to get there.
Yeah, I believe we're all going to get there together, and we're all going to get there by having each other's back and having shows like this where we can get on here and speak as much as we can. Right? We can't say everything we want, but I think that we're going to make it together
Well, I don't think
stronger than we will.
We haven't offended.
So what's that?
We haven't offended anyone.
Hey, I hope not. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to be a good boy on YouTube. We love you, YouTube, and you know what I mean. Like, but I do push the limit sometimes. Even saying F-bombs, that could get you in trouble. But whatever.
This is just the word we use here in Australia, and it has a little bit of more meaning to the sentence. It gives the sentence more power when you use the F word.
I love the F word, but I've been using like mother trucker. I think it's actually funnier when you use mother trucker, but I've been dropping F-bombs tonight, man. It's like you get towards the end of the show, you can probably get away with a little more. I heard this is one of the older algorithms. I don't know about now, but it was like 10 minutes. Once you get past 10 minutes of the video or whatever you're doing, you have more of a chance of getting away with stuff. But then again, if they have algorithms that are running everything now, then maybe not. But they do. I think they do still have people that watch streams. I really do. Don't get that twisted, man. Believe me, there are people that are moderating and you don't know about it. Like, you know what I mean? But a lot of it is AI, I think, too. Yeah.
God's watching me.
There you go. There's always someone watching, right? Like I was saying, I think last weekend about how the devil has the airwaves, right? Well, I think there's more powerful beings that have the airwaves also right now. And I'm thinking, well, why did I come back? What happened, man? I came out of nowhere in a way, and wasn't going to do this shit anymore, man. I really do owe it to the XRP boys over there, boardroom, bags, and all them, because otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. But I was obviously called to do it. And then I met all you. I met all you people, all you good people.
I saw you. Right? I saw you at the boardroom there, and I thought, "Oh, this like sounds cool." Rain Man, he's okay. Yeah, man,
he's all right. He's all right. He's all right.
Saying something, and I was with you on things you were saying, like about the awakening, and so yeah.
Right, because I was bringing different things on there, right? Like because that was my thing from the beginning. I had to do something a little bit different, and it was like trying not to be a preacher, but I was just kind of like trying to throw wisdom out there and talk about positive things and show the future a little bit, because we don't want to be too much in the future. We don't want to be too much in the past. The key, if you listen to any yogis, it's being in the present, right? But I had to try to give people some hope. And I remember Father Allen was like, he would chime in the chat before he started even coming on. Because in the beginning, it was Alex, G-Vlogs, myself, Berserker, and Uncle Buster. That was it. They didn't bring everyone up there. That was a coffee time kind of vibe that they would do. But that ended up being they changed the whole model. But before, I remember Father Allen going, he was agreeing with me. And then he would chime in. He would back me up. And then I remember I'd say something, and it would be like crickets. And then I remember I'd be like Buster, or Buster would come and back me up on some like spiritual stuff or vibration shit, right? And Buster would come in and knock the socks off of it and kind of give me some backup. Because otherwise, some people might have thought that I was just, bloviating or hopium or preaching too much, but just trying to be positive, I guess,
No, you're fine, man. You're spot on.
But I love having this.
I got an issue with Nerdy.
What's up?
Nerdy's badass, dude.
He knows too much. He knows too much, and he holds stronghold.
Nerdy's fucking. I gotta say, Nerdy's pretty sharp. He blew my mind a couple times on the boardroom where I was like, "Damn, dude!" You got to the point on the boardroom where it's like, I'm like, "All right, man. There's so many fucking badass dudes and people on here, and they're bringing so much knowledge. I can chime in once in a while, but it's hard to get a word edgewise. So I'm having actually more fun being in the chat, right, on that show and the other shows, right? Because a lot of people by Berserker allowing people, which I was against in the beginning when he first started his show, because I was kind of trying to help him to do his own show. And I told Sean all the time, you should have your own show, dude. You try to take over my show, right? Because he used to try to take over my show on WebEx. But I love it. I love it. The fact that the Berserker did his own thing and started bringing the community in allowed more people to have a voice, right? And then I obviously was able to connect with more people, and then also through the chat. But when they're coming on, and it's amazing. I think it's freaking amazing, you know. So I shout out to all the guys and girls or whatever that come on to the show, and everyone in the chat too. Not everyone wants to come on and be on camera or talk, but the support I get is mind blowing to me.
This is all about sticking together, sharing some information, and mostly things we're already, agree on and see things the way they are. I just passing the time and just waiting for, better financial situation. I mean, I'm living comfortably, but I want to live the Lux life.
Exactly. Exactly.
I want to live like the elites have been living and what they've been hiding from us.
Well, think about, like I was saying recently about leasing out your XRP.
Yes.
Right. And thinking in that way, right? Like rather than you could call it staking, but leasing it out, I really believe is a future thing that will happen. Now, will they require you to have a license? I don't know. They could. Like they want you to have a license to be a mortgage guy nowadays, when in the old days you didn't have to have a license. You had to have a license to be a real estate guy, right? You have to have a license to do the Wall Street stuff. Now, I could be off. Maybe we get to do things that we think we wouldn't be able to do. Maybe we get to lease or stake and not be punished for it, right? Or demand a license.
Like I was saying in the last, we've got Globians. It's a bank and an exchange, and you've got staking there. You in America don't have a chance now to stake at Globians, but I can stake my GBEX there. I can stake XDC. I can stake XRP. But it's XRP staking is around 1% very low. But they're a bank and an exchange, and that's where I see the future's going to be, where the bank, some will go away, the big banks will stay. They will offer crypto. There will be a bank and an exchange. So you can put your XRP with the bank. You can stake with the bank. They'll give you rewards. You'll get it probably in digital dollar, not in XRP. They'll give you digital dollar, and you pay your tax, the amount of whatever you've earned through the year of staking. And that's where I see things will be going, where we won't be able to, we won't have to sell our coins. We will give it to the bank, lend it. Of course, you're never going to give them all your bag. You give a percentage. At the right price, when the prices do rise, say if XRP is $1,000, you'll have a great return. Doesn't matter what percentage. So that's where I see we will be okay. We won't be able to fear what's going to happen. The banks will become an exchange, because these currencies and cryptos will be needed by companies, say XDC. The trade finance will need XDC to do their smart contracts. To execute a smart contract, their fee is in XDC. We shouldn't fear anything. Everything will be regulated, and I'm positive. And like Rainman said, hopeful.
For me, from what I understand, it's going to be more like where like you develop something on Overledger, and then if you want to send value cross border, you use Ripple. If you want to send value to your nation, when you're local, you use Stellar. You want to do health records, you want to sign in for your health and pay your medical bills, use Algo. You want to, and then that Algo, that all that digital documents get sent via XDC on that secured network. Like it's basically like everyone uses their own network to secure their thing, whatever they're trying to do. And then this way, it's like it's hack proof, because it's going through so many rails and so fast and being validated so quickly that you couldn't even hack it even if you wanted to. And this prevents even AI from even trying to attempt something like that. Cool. That's from my understanding.
I just want things to start, tokenizing assets. Can't wait for the digital world.
I don't don't think it's gonna be like. I think it's gonna be like from my understanding, it's gonna be the world that we have today. The only thing that's going to change is the system behind the curtains, where everything just works faster, everything's more secure, everything is smoother. You don't have that many people. You don't need that many people to run a business, because most of it is artificial intelligence, or it's being automated through a blockchain or something like that. And it's going to be in a world where you don't need that many people to work, because there's so much prosperity, where people have more time to spend on themselves and be able to actually enjoy life. And we do live in an automated world, but it's an automated world that works for us, instead of we being the slaves to the automation, which is what they wanted. Yeah,
that's what we're thriving for.
Yeah, and not mining crypto for Bill Gates with his freaking patent that he had for using our energy of our bodies to mine crypto, guys. What the fuck, dude? Like,
bro, I think
that's not happening in my world. Fuck that shit.
I think Bill Gates is like, the way that I see him, I'm sorry, Bill, if you see this, I think he's like that kid that never had any friends. And then like the parents was like, hey, go be friend with so-and-so. You guys are now friends now. We're both wealthy, so you guys can be friends and do something together. And then he was like that kid that was like the only child that never got attention, or was always saying, or always got a yes. And then so when someone said no, he would freak out. And then he would like move or something. And then now he's to the point where like, well, if no one's going to listen to me, I'm going to buy up all the land. So you have to listen to me. And then he goes and buys up all the land. And the food is like that one kid that always wants attention, but no one wants to be his friend. So he forces people to be his friend. It's kind of like the vibes that he puts off.
I'm sure he was a nice guy until I saw a video where somebody came up and pied him in the face.
Oh, yeah.
That's when he said, fuck it, I'm just going to be nasty. I think he was really a nice guy before that.
You know,
I think bloodlines.
It honestly looks like a lot of these elitists and globalists are just very lonely people, and then that's why they always like they do a lot of stupid shit, because it's like I think a lot of these people, they grew up in so much wealth to the fact where like they don't know what it means to be normal. You know, like for like us. We've done with stuff like I played with a rock and a bag and a stick and played in dirt and shit. Like that was my childhood. That was cool. I had fun with that. I don't think they've ever done that. I don't think they've ever experienced how much joy you can have with one item, or how you can use your mind of creativity and imagination and make the best out of nothing, you know, or even going through like the emotions of being depressed or being lonely or being said no to or being rejected or anything like that. Like real life things that happens to people on an everyday basis. I don't think they've ever experienced it. So when that does come their way, they get so freaking hurt and offended. They're so soft where they just have to react in such a dramatic way. It's it's very like narcissistic in a way, you know?
No, it is. It's true. Like buying your way through life, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Not experiencing a lot of downturns and struggling and I'll just buy up everything. I'll buy all the farmland. I'll buy all the houses, or I'll own all the computer systems, and I'll steal Windows from Apple, and you know what I mean. That's what he did supposedly, or IBM, whatever.
He bought it, and he said, "Oh, look what I did." It's like, no, you didn't do nothing, bro.
You didn't build shit, dude.
It's like, do whatever you want, mate. Do whatever you want. Have everything. Buy it all up. Just leave me alone. Because they get me mixed up in all that.
Hey, so Nerdy, you said you might not go to New York, you said? Is that going to be like a last minute thing?
It's a maybe, baby. I don't know.
A maybe, baby.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, but you said you don't get refunds though, right?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I have to think about it now. Either I go or I don't go. I mean, if my ticket was $200. I mean, it sucks. It's money, but I'd rather just give up $200 and go there and be like, hey, you can't come in. You're too late. Bye. And then spend freaking another $200 just to get back to the freaking airport and just wait. And I was like, okay, well, that was a waste of money. You know what I mean?
So what I think about how they did it is kind of raw dog. Like if you're going to do an RSVP, and say maybe you have to, I don't know, maybe you have to put a deposit down or something. They could have done it like that to where, you have a little bit of skin in the game. And then they know how many people can go because they know how many people can be in the building, right? In the building.
Yeah. And that's like,
and that's kind of raw dog.
Yeah. And that's something I was considering too. Like, I rather if I'm gonna RSVP, meaning that I'm going to show up, and then you're telling me, you know what I mean? So if that's the case, and you're doing this because you have a limited supply of food that you're providing, like you're feeding everybody, well then I'd rather pay for food, knowing that at least I can freaking come in rather than being shut down out of the door when I'm coming across the country. You know what I mean? Like, and then they keep releasing more and more tickets. It's like they keep saying, "Oh, it's a limited supply. Here's another round of tickets." It's like, what?
Are you serious?
Yeah, like they did that like 3 times already, and
that's
they
weird,
got sold
dude.
out in a few minutes. But it's like the concept of it doesn't make no sense to me at all. Just what's the point of RSVP? Why'd you just say first come? Why even put RSVP there?
So what I'm not understanding is you're dealing with a company that's worldwide, right? That's been globe-trotting the world, right? They know how to do things, and they put on parties, right? So I don't get it from what you're telling me. It just doesn't make any sense. It seems like they're amateurs, right? Like trying to throw a party. It's like, yeah, we know a lot of people are gonna come, and you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, and then like Bags mentioned a really good point. It's like, why didn't they use like BPM wallet, or why didn't they use some kind of like something on their ledger where you can promote how advanced you are as a financial institution, and it makes booking and reservation stuff so much simpler. And it's like, okay, it'll give you the vibe of, hey, yeah, we're transitioning to this new world and this new thing, and it's gonna be so good and blah blah blah. But it's like, it's none of that. So it's like there's no price action, there's no nothing. It's just your basic regular event that anyone can actually throw, and it's like, what is this? I don't know. To me, I bought a ticket. I RSVP'd and I bought a ticket because of the excitement, and I always act on impulse, and I shouldn't have done that. But like, I didn't know. I really should have read the thing, to be honest. That's my fault for not reading it. But the whole first come first serve bullshit is garbage.
Yeah. So do you? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to get at, man. Like, I can't believe how they're doing that shit. And then you say they release more tickets. It's like, are you kidding me? I remember because I didn't even know about it, right? And I remember coming. I was it was the boardroom, I think. Yeah, it was the boardroom, I want to say. And Berserker was going berserker on it, right? He was so excited, so pumped. Right, and I'm all, dude, I'm all, come on, man. I'm like, you're getting a little excited. I'm all, you might get let down, man. So maybe, just kind of play it by ear and kind of feel it out, right? And he just kept going. He was excited, right? So you have a bunch of berserkers out there that want to go, right? And you're one of them, right? Like,
yeah,
so, I don't know. It just
pumped.
It doesn't seem right.
What's the party about? I mean, when we have a birthday party, we know it's about someone's birthday, christening. Someone got christened, you go to the party. Weddings, someone's getting married, you go to the party. What's the party here? The proper party.
Well, yeah, I was pumped because I was like, oh, cool, I get to meet Brad, I get to meet David, I get to take pictures with these people. It's gonna be historic. It's happening in New York, just like the stock market crash of the 29th. It's like history repeating itself. I want to be part of this, blah blah blah. But it's like, really though, this ticket situation is not where it's at. You could have done better. Do I really want to be part of this and then be let down? And then you have an immigration crisis, and there's a bunch of random ass people walking around your city that you're saying they could walk around your city, and then it's like, oh, they have all this violence, and it says I'm gonna be walking around in a suit, and then someone's gonna think I have money when I'm broke, and they're gonna try to rob me. I'm gonna say I don't have nothing, and then I'm gonna get shot, and then I'm gonna be like, oh well, I just paid $200 to go to New York to get shot, and then I'm saying I should have just stayed home. So
wow,
I'm like, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? So far, it's not worth it. Like, are you going for the experience and the hype, or are you just going for some random ass occasion? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Stay home, brother.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, hey, check it out. Check it out, nerdy. Honestly, if you're getting those kind of vibes, then I probably would just chill, man. Like, I'm just that's just me, man. I'm different, but you're getting the vibes though. You're getting like you already have a picture of what's possible, and it is possible because the place is a freaking cesspool right now of crime and fucking debauchery. That it took a long time to get that place cleaned up to begin with.
Exactly.
Right? So come on, man.
Yeah. So how do you not know you have a bunch of a bunch of people that's there illegally are not going to try to rob us? to get advantage to do something. Like we don't know that.
All
No.
that aside, if the price pumped to 589, for
Yeah.
sure you'd go. I mean, yeah, you're celebrating.
Yeah.
But at 50 cents and a proper party, I mean, I
Yeah.
wouldn't even think about it. Like, it's like, screw you and your party.
Yeah.
It
So
was
what do you
fun.
guys think is what's going to be the topic? Is it going to be the IPO? I mean, or is it? You guys really believe that it'll be a settlement
Distraction.
announcement?
Well,
It's a
from my understanding, it's
distraction.
more of a concert than it is an actual party, right?
Distraction. It's crap. Pooper party.
And then you can't, like, once you go in, you can't leave, and if you leave, then you can't come back in. So it's like, are you trapping me in there? I don't know, it's just really suspicious. And I already have trust issue as it is. And now you're
What's your
telling me
scene
that
phrase?
you're gonna,
They're gonna,
now you're
they're
telling
gonna
me
have,
that,
they're
like,
gonna have Rain Man's forks.
bro, like, think about it. Like, first you're telling, like, bro, you're telling me that maybe you can come in, maybe you can't come in, but if you do come in, you can't leave. It's like, what? No, hold on.
Well,
Like,
I
it
asked.
sounds suspicious, bro. It literally sounds so suspicious. I don't get
I asked Rob Cash to be the reporter, the beat reporter on the street if he goes, you know, if he wants to, if he has time or whatever, and he can come on the show. But maybe we'll have someone that will report live from there, you know. And if you don't go, I'm going to be streaming. It's on a Friday night, so
Yeah, but what they
Yep.
said, they said no live streaming. So they said no cameras, no live streaming.
Oh, what the hell? That's
yeah,
right.
so it's like,
Hopefully,
you know,
Oh,
you can't have nothing
shit,
in your
boring.
pocket. You can't have your phone charger. You can't have nothing. Like, you literally have to come like as you would to some kind of secret corporate event that the least go to. Right? You know what I mean? Like, how do we not know when you walk in there you have to put your phone in a locker? We don't know that. Like, we don't know to the extent of privacy that we're going towards. I don't know. The whole thing is just like, the more that I think about it and the more that I talk about it, I'm like, it sounds really freaking suspicious.
Wow, that's
Like I
wild.
said, everything put aside, if the price was $5.89, I'd risk it. I'd even take a plane.
I mean, even if the price went up to $5.89 or whatever it went up to, I wouldn't go. The only reason I'm going is just to get just to meet Brad and David, because I'm a fan of them, you know, like, and to meet other people, like meet all you guys or whoever's gonna go. Like, I'm just going for my homies. I'm not even going like to, like, you know, oh, we're gonna party. I really don't give two fucks about that. I care more about hanging out with you guys and then meeting everybody.
Yeah.
But like, if that's the case, and we skyrocket to $5.89, let's meet up on an island. Let's all go out for a spa or something, or like, you know, have some kind of cool thing where we all relax or something like that.
Yeah,
To be in freaking New York, you know, like, you
Well,
can be
that
literally
would be-
anywhere at that point.
That would be.
I do want to do a NorCal meetup, like just something simple though. But I would
Yeah.
like to do a Sacktown meetup. Anyone in the Sacktown area? So I've been wanting to do that. So I'll talk more about it.
And one thing about Australia, I have to say, which is really freaking cool, is that you can land in the airport, hop on the train, go anywhere in the whole goddamn country, hop back on the train, get back on the airport, and leave. Like, that's awesome. You know what I mean? You can't really do that over here.
Nice.
I mean, you know, like
Beautiful,
you
man.
can't you can hop, like, you can land in JFK and then take, I think it was like Jamaica to whatever, some kind of island, and then go there and do the train that way. But it's like, that's gonna take an hour. So if people have the intentions of going to the party and taking the train there to Midtown, then that's another hour that's an hour off your schedule. And then if you want to take a taxi, well, then you have to worry about traffic. And then that's another, like, you're paying an Uber or a taxi another $100, $150, $150 just to get there. And then when you get there, you don't even know if you're gonna get in. So there's so many variables. It's like, you have to go through so many loopholes. And then when you finally get in, you can be like, oh, I made it. And you're like, God damn, I can't leave out. I can't get out of here.
It's too busy there, isn't there? It's like, how many, 11, 12 million people?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it though. We'll see. We'll see.
Up to you, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's this next Friday, huh?
We'll see. I'm waiting. If something happens, I don't know. I'll flip a coin or something.
I don't think any moon time is happening, guys, before then.
No.
Just
No.
don't. I
What
don't.
we know it's not going to happen, because in all the documents it says nothing happens before November 22nd or November 23rd. Everything happens after that.
We don't have regulation. We need regulation.
Well, we have that because XRP is not a security and it's a currency,
Global
but the case
regulation
isn't
on
over
these
yet.
assets. We need laws.
Yeah,
They're
Well,
slowly
the global stuff is this November, right, Nerdy? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, it's the 23rd of November. That's what all the banking documents say. That's why I say people because of the
Is that the
documents.
ISO? Is that the ISO stuff?
November,
Yeah.
yeah. November,
Yeah.
I believe in it. But Nerdy, Japan is saying something September. September's not over. So let's.
I mean, you know,
I've told my dad September. So just.
Well, September, like, I don't know about September, but I heard a lot of stuff supposed to happen in September, but there has been a lot of stuff happening this month. But
Yeah.
Japan's very aggressive when it comes to crypto and stuff and doing things. They've always been a little bit on the cutting edge, right? More than most. So I'm telling
Yeah.
you, it's going to happen
Land-
outside of the U.S. way
Land of
before
the
it happens
rising
here.
sun.
well, that's
Land
the,
of the
well,
rising sun.
well, that's the thing though, that it all depends on bonds, right? It all depends on debt, and it all depends on the value of like liquidity and the value of their money, and what economy crashes first, and what country's going to need an emergency economy act or some shit like that, and who's gonna enact something, or who's gonna do something, who's gonna go back to gold first or whatever. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be like a global event. I don't think it's gonna be like a single nation that decides to do something. I think it's gonna be like a global, like the world comes collectively and says, "Hey, we're gonna switch," or something like that. Because all this stuff is international. It's not just
Well,
one nation based.
Swift talked about a big bang last year. A big bang in one of the articles.
Yeah.
On their
Also,
page.
erupt change. Erupt change. They also say that too.
So I could have a big bang.
We don't know nothing. We're just here talking on Range Channel, just trying to assume shit. Who knows what the fuck's gonna happen?
I honestly think going to be one abrupt stop and then right back into it, just like how nothing happened, and nobody gonna realize what would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we will. We'll see our portfolio.
Yeah.
Oh, is he talking about the flip of the switch? Is that what he's talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna happen like that quickly.
Well, I truly believe that the system is already there, and it literally is a flip of the switch. And obviously, you have the two sides, right? And you have people that are in the middle. I would say XLM would be in the middle. They're agnostic, right? But then you have XRP and Ripple. They're the bad guys, right? Considered by the bad guys.
Well, if you look
You
at
know
the
what I mean?
language,
Like,
if you look at the language they use flip of the switch, erupt change, big bang, overnight, instantly.
Window of opportunity closing fast.
You know what I mean? All these things. So it sounds like they're just gonna just boom, we're on. And then like Ray Dalio, warp speed. We won't recognize the world in 5 years, and Citibank saying, hey, if everything is on this network, go ahead.
Well, what
They're
about
changing-
Christine Lagarde? She had a car accident, poor thing. She was wearing a neck brace.
Oh, yeah?
Christine Lagarde, yeah, poor thing. Lucky she wasn't hurt.
I mean, like even her, right?
Yeah.
She was the one that made the whole digital thing and the whole like green initiative, and she was part of that. And she made that with Brad, right? They were homies, and the next thing you know, she becomes the thing.
Didn't
But-
she visit? She visited US a couple of weeks ago,
I think so, didn't she? I don't know.
and a Japan banker was there.
Yeah, I mean, and we know about SBI, so.
Don't go to New York.
Yeah, Ellie.
And one thing very, very important that nobody is talking about, Oracle made a presentation, and Oracle said that they're going to run the whole Japanese stock market on Oracle. Oracle connects to everything. So if we know that the whole stock market of Japan is going to be running on Oracle servers, what does that tell you? How many other stock markets are going to run on the Oracle server? If one stock market, you can't have one stock market running independently. If you're going to go to a global, inclusive, interoperable economy, you need all stock markets to operate on the same server for interoperability.
Yeah, it's all
So
so
gone.
what was their token though? Didn't they have a token that they were using or they made years ago? Oracle.
Oracle has partnerships with Quant, and they have partnerships with Interledger and Overledger and all that other stuff.
I think they had their own token though, their own setup early
Oracle.
on. So it's interesting. Yeah. Oh, you say Overledger. Gala. I don't think a lot of people know this. Gala with the Gala chain, they're on the Interledger. And then I'm thinking, well, who made the Interledger, right? I'm always thinking about it, talking about it. If you say it, I just Interledger. Yeah, this one's Interledger. Well, who made it? And then I realized, oh wow, that's right, because I forgot. It's Linux. It's fucking Linux, right? So kind of a trip. Like Linux is that multi-chain system out there that was early. They were early to the game on that. That's what Uphold. You can use that in Uphold, right?
And Las Vegas went down, and what are they doing? They're hiring Red Hat hackers that know Linux-based admins to come rebuild their whole casino. Why?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, so I heard about the Vegas thing. I forgot about it. Right, Friday comes around, forget about half shit from the week because there's so much. Right, there's so much. They were attacked. Caesars was attacked. So you're saying that Linux is going to come in and rebuild their whole system,
from scratch.
So is it going to be a block? It must be a blockchain based ledger, interledger, right? I mean,
who knows?
Come on,
it makes sense, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, why? Right? Because they're going, hey, this shit is outdated. This shit is vulnerable.
Yeah,
right? Look what they did to you.
Is
right?
Casino Coin on the XRPL too?
Yeah,
and
it
Casino
is.
Coin is utilized.
You're right.
In World's Casino. World's Casino is on the strip right now, and it's one of the newer casinos. And if I'm not mistaken, they utilize Casino Coin.
Yeah. And on that note, if they got hacked via internet or whatever, why don't you just go onto Hypergraph? And now you're quantumly secured on Hypergraph, and then you just use Hyperledger through there and all that other stuff. So it's like, if everyone's going to be on this secure quantum network and everyone's upgrading their systems, why would everything be independent? Or why would you just upgrade one thing? Why not upgrade everything all at once? And I think that's why it's happening. That's why we're seeing systems go down. We're literally seeing all the vulnerabilities happen in real time. And then people are coming like, oh, we'll rebuild it. We'll fix it. And next thing you know, they're implementing this new system all behind the scenes. I don't know. It literally is plans within plans within plans within plans within plans within plans within plans. Like they're saying like for example, go back to the ID thing where I mentioned like New York is saying that we'll give all the immigrants IDs. Well, how do we not know the White Hats did that so we know who to send back? You know what I mean? Like there's so many plans within plan moments that no one even knows what the hell is going on. There's so much juggling.
Yeah, and like I was saying a little bit ago, I'm forgetting a lot of the shit that I'm absorbing, right, from the week. There's so much fucking happening. Like you said, there's so much hidden that's coming out, right? Whether it be a network, advancement, or they made a deal with this company or whatever, or this connection. It's just happening at such a freaking clip, dude. It's insane. It's insane.
It is.
So I'm glad that everyone brings a little piece of these things to the party, right? And then we're able to talk about it, because otherwise I'd forget about most of it. But we went there tonight, guys. We went there tonight, dude. It got busy. We were talking about some heavy, high-minded stuff, and I thought it was great, man. We had a lot of people show up too that were old school, man. I dig it.
Are you ready to call it?
Yeah, I think so. I'm kind of losing my voice. People are falling off. It's getting late for some people.
Later, boys.
Yeah. So let's say something. Each one of us say something. And take us out, man. Nerdy, start.
No, Eli, you go. I say Wayside. Wayside, go. You were quiet the whole time. Wayside, go first.
Well,
Wayside, yeah.
Always about the positive vibrations. Always, like Rain says, keep the frequencies in line, in tune, so that your body can stay in tune, and keep your mind and body right, so that we can make it to however long we gotta hold. Because I'm hodling, that's for sure. And positive motion, and I just hope everybody has a beautiful Friday night and or Saturday evening. Ellie.
Eat well, hydrate, exercise. It's very important to stay healthy. Otherwise, there's no point having all this money and we're sick. So stay positive. Watch what you put inside your body. Crypto, keep it on cold storage. Forget about it. Don't access it. Don't move it anywhere. Just wait for world regulations on digital assets. Till then, till next Friday, I gotta love yous and leave yous.
Peace, guys. I have nothing to say. I talked enough today.
Thank you,
I'm
Rain.
always
Thanks,
a
Rain, for having
blowhard.
us.
Yeah, thank you guys. Like serious.
Shout out to
So-
Rain.
Mahalo,
up?
Rain.
Shout out to
Mahalo,
Rain for putting the show together. Without you,
Thank
bro, we
you.
wouldn't be here.
I mean, honestly, you know, you guys make the show. To be honest, I just provide the venue or whatever. It's like being a bar owner, and you got a bunch of cool bands coming in. So, kind of how I feel, you know, like, you know, and it helps me out because then I don't have to sit here and bloviate the whole time. Because we could have watched my stream earlier, and it went on for I don't know. I think it was an hour and 11 minutes that one, so that would have been a short one. But I was doing shit on my own back then, right? And once in a while, I'd bring someone on. It was harder back then. But yeah, the StreamYard, I'm learning it and getting to know it. I'm getting better at it. And the fact that I could bring up the chat now, because I got that handled, I'm excited. So you guys are awesome, man. Thank you.
Nice.
I thank you, my brother. You look after yourself during the week.
Yeah.
Ready? West Side, take care.
Oh, yeah.
In
Love
the
you
chat,
guys.
look after yourselves.
All right. Good night, guys.
All right. Hopefully we all see each other Friday, man. And maybe Nerdy has figured out what he's doing by then. Oh, I guess Tuesday. Maybe Tuesday you let us know on Boardroom. Who knows?
He'll have his bags packed. He's ready to go already. It's like,
No.
Nerdy, it's only Tuesday, bro. Only
Yeah,
Tuesday.
I would miss you though if you weren't here, you know, on the show. So, or just even here. But yeah, so regardless,
I'll probably be here. Who knows?
there'll probably be a lot of people that won't be here. They'll be there, but that's okay. Maybe someone will fucking drop in. You never know. So.
I might drop in from the airport or the train or something, depending how I feel. I don't know. Who knows?
There you go. Reporting, fucking beat reporter and shit. I dig that shit. All right,
All I know is when I'm here, I get a smile on my face and I feel great. Thanks, Rain.
You serious?
Oh,
I dig. I dig
this
that.
is so fun to me. Like just being here, you know, killing some time. I'm just going to go feed my birds, and now I'm going to hop in my car and I'm going to take a drive down to the beach, see what's going on. There's some event happening. People are doing some
nice
marathon. So I'll just go into
like
town.
midday for him.
Thanks very much, man. It's been positive, man. It's, and Nerdy's always positive, smiling. That's great.
Hey,
dude. Yeah,
Tell
the
us,
energy.
sweetheart.
The energy that everyone brings, right? It's kind of close to the same energy, but it's everyone has a different way of bringing it across, and they have their different freaking things they say. That like Wayside has great shit. He says, Ellie, you. I mean, we're always. It feeds itself. So it's really cool. And I think the chat was very active today, and they were happy. People were having fun. We had OGs coming in here. We can't complain. We can't complain.
Hey, look at the live stream.
Yeah, we were talking about feet.
331. That's the debt limit. 33 trillion 100 billion.
Yeah. So I was wanting to say that earlier to tell the people that didn't see my show that I was showing earlier. The show I was showing. And I was wanting to say, dude, this is how old that show was. The debt was 22 trillion when I showed that clip earlier from my old stream. It was 22 trillion. I say it in the show. And then now we're at 33 trillion, dude. It's like, whoa.
All right. I'll see you later. Take care.
All right, guys.
Later, guys. Peace.
Missed you guys until Sunday.
Until Sunday.
Later.
Peace.
All right, guys.
Hello.
Thank you for listening to F.N.W.R. Radio with Rain here. Hope you enjoyed your stay. Drive safe. Be responsible, good people. Thank you. Come again. Rain here. Rain out.